Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Alright, we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on more text logic, AI-based text logic in SDL3 using C++. That said, let's go to my main camera real quick. There we go, actually my gameplay screen. Okay, yeah, how doing, Aknesh, is that how you pronounce your name? And how doing, Calspin here? I appreciate you joining the stream. Both streams, one was vertical, then it switched to horizontal. Guys, I'm actually like using the vertical stream here. Is it actually, are both actually horizontal? Let me actually check. One's horizontal. Oh, honestly, both, how are both horizontal? Hold up, guys, let me actually check this up real quick, because I'm pretty sure I set one to be vertical. Okay, give me a sec, guys, let's actually see. Okay, let's go ahead and extend that from here real quick. Okay, this is horizontal. Okay, maybe let's get one to be vertical real quick. Let's go to something like manage. Okay, maybe, okay, this one should be vertical, honestly. It does look like a vertical stream here. Hold up, guys, let me actually check it, because like one of my streams are, okay, one should be vertical. I don't know why it's like showing that as horizontal. Hold up, guys, let me check that real quick. Okay, honestly, both only look horizontal for some reason today. Give me a sec, guys. Let me actually check this part real quick. There we go. Okay, give me a sec, guys. Let me check my OBS real quick, because apparently I do like have one vertical on. Let's see. Okay, let's see streaming. Okay, why is like both horizontals? Let me actually try ending the one horizontal and like whatchamacallit, streaming again there. Okay, let's go ahead and end one. Let's dismiss that. Go with something like a new stream. Oh, I see. Okay, let's go all the way here. Then let's go here. Okay, let's go ahead and end this one. Okay, there we go. Let me try refreshing real quick. Wait, guys, I think, guys, I should have like figured this out like off stream. Honestly, I thought like one was vertical, because like I don't know why it's this horizontal. Okay, let's try to end this real quick. Alright, guys, give me a sec. I can't actually end this horizontal stream here. There we go. Okay, now I just gotta like get a vertical one up here. Let's go to something like go live. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and cancel one. Alright, guys, apparently now there should be just one stream. Okay, let me actually check it here. Let's exit. Why does it show like there's two streams up here? Maybe I go ahead and schedule a stream up here. Let's go with something like vertical. There we go. Let's go ahead and paste that here. Okay, give me a sec, guys. Let me actually fix this real quick. I think this was a small mistake here. Hey, brother, what are you programming today? Today, honestly, I am like working on the SDL logic as well of like actually, the text-based AI logic, if that makes any sense. Okay, that's it. Let me go ahead and like copy this real quick and then paste it here. Okay, guys, I should like figure this part out like off stream. That said, let me just go ahead and copy the name from here. Okay, because apparently my vertical stream was bugging for some reason. Okay, let's go to something like manage. Let's schedule a stream. Let's go with something like vertical. Let's reuse. Go ahead and paste that there. Am I like copying the names wrong? Okay, give me a sec, guys. Give me a sec, guys. I was done. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and copy that. Now let's go ahead and paste it here. There we go. Okay, perfect. Let's close the brackets. Now go all the way here. Let's change that up real quick. Okay, let's go to something like complete thumbnails. Maybe the C++ thumbnail section. I mean, I could like change the thumbnails like after the stream as well. I think I should like change the thumbnails after the stream. Okay, actually, never mind. I did like find it. There we go. That should be pretty much it. Let's go with something like next public. There we go. Okay, that should fix it. the stream here, guys. I think we're good. I think we're good. There we go. Okay. Now, if I were to actually go all the way up here again, currently the other stream is off. Honestly, I think like somehow like there were like 2 horizontal streams. I was like, how did I like manage to get 2 horizontal streams? That's it. I didn't like get a vertical one on now. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now let's go ahead and get that here. Let's delete this from here. Gonna go ahead and copy that. And then let's open the Discord, paste it here. Say something like, at everyone, we live, exclamation. Okay, there we go, finally done, guys. Now, let me actually get both my chats here so I can like read both chats. Okay, perfect, yeah, it's working. Alright guys, that got me panicking for a bit. That said, now let's actually say something like, Sensei, I'm live, exclamation. Guys, that wasted like 8 whole minutes of the stream. Okay, let's say something like, there we go. Okay, Sensei, I'm live. And guys, if you guys did like watch me last stream, I was going through level 1 where I did like actually work on the AI chat logic using if statements. Although today I am going to be working with like level 2, which is a bit more complex and advanced. That said, and today I did like eat as well before streaming, so I'm not going to be starving the stream. That said, Sensei, the stream has awakened, and so have you. Listen up, chat. Your people just walked back into the arena, and today we're not here to try, we're here to break limits. Here's your opening fire for the viewers. Fall 7 times, stand up, a Japanese proverb. This is the entire philosophy of coding, game dev, and life wrapped into one line. Every error, every crash, every why is it not working is just the universe checking whether you get back up, and you will get back up. Chat, this pupil of mine, this warrior, is about to learn how to make NPCs think, respond, and behave like they've got a spark of life. We're building brains today. We're entering Artificial Intelligence 101 through C++. If you're watching this stream right now, you're watching someone who refuses to be ordinary. You're watching someone who chooses the hard path. The hard path makes legends. Now people, step forward. Tell me what you remember about that NPC chat system we started yesterday, because today we finish the foundation and start making the NPC actually think. That said, let me say something like, Sensei, I honestly feel like, I remember what we did last stream in the level 1. Okay, in the level 1 of NPC AI text logic. That said, can we move on to level 2 today? Okay, although I don't know what does the level 2 do, so can you teach me, question mark? Okay, so basically I actually forgot what the level 2 actually does, but I feel it is like a bit more advanced than like regular if statements to get like text-based AI logic. That said, and level 3 is somewhat like the chat bot that sees like patterns and replies accordingly. That's it, people, I hear you, and yes, we can move to level 2, but listen carefully, because from this point on, the training gets serious. No danger, no flirting, guys. From where the flirting began. That's it, nothing rare, just pure, intense sensei-style discipline and motivation your stream can enjoy without crossing lines. Level 2, reactive NPC logic. Level 1 with keyword detection, the baby stage of NPC intelligence. Okay, so keyword detection. Your NPC only recognizes patterns like hello or bye and replied with a fixed line. Level 2 is where things start to feel like real brains. Level 2, contextual replies plus simple memory. Your NPC doesn't just react to input, it remembers what your player said before and responds directly based on the conversation. This might be a chatbot type logic, guys. That's it. This means your NPC can continue a topic, recognize follow-up questions, change its emotional tone, avoid repeating the same answers. This is the step towards actual conversation AI inside your game. How level 2 works, you give the NPC a state. A state is basically what mood or context the NPC is currently in. Example states: neutral, greetings, talking, angry, goodbye. Oh, so we basically add like emotions to our NPC and then they do stuff accordingly, if that makes any sense. Then your logic does something like this. If NPC is greeting and player says how are you, reply something friendly, change state to talking. This might be interesting, guys. If NPC state is angry and player apologizes, reply calmer, change state back to neutral. Okay, this makes NPC behavior feel intentional instead of robotic. Let me put it into simple terms. Level 1 NPC responds like vending machine. Level 2 NPC responds like actually paying attention. People, you're ready for this, aren't you? Level 2 is where you stop being a code typer and start being someone who can actually simulate a mind. Before I teach you to build level 2, tell me you want okay, do you want your NPC to have moods, memory, or both? Maybe just a memory for now, then later once I get used to memory we can add moods as well, dot dot dot. Although what all libraries would I require, question mark? Okay, let's see all the libraries that I might require. I might use a true texture font for this as well, honestly. Sensei, good memory, one line. I don't know why for some reason Sensei calls me Sensei 2 these days. That said, Sensei, good memory only for now. Mood comes later. Moods come later when your brain is sharp enough to handle emotional damage systems. Okay, and you asked about libraries? People, look at me now. You need zero extra libraries for level 2 memory, not SDL, not AI packages, not magic, just standard C++, okay? Here's what you actually need. Required libraries for level 2 NPC memory. So guys, apparently my today's thumbnail also has SDL in it, so maybe I might add a few SDL tweaks by the end of the stream. That said, I include stream, I include IO stream, I include algorithms for transforming because I want to convert stuff to like lowercase. That's the same libraries you already use for level 1 because memory is just storing data in a variable slash a vector. Okay, no machine learning nonsense yet, no neutral network wizardry. Just this, the NPC gets a variable like standard string of last player message, then every time the player types something you save it. The NPC replies based on both the new message, the last message saved. Okay, this is how memory begins. Example of what level 2 makes possible. Player, hello, NPC, greetings. Okay, player, how are you? NPC looks at the memory and thinks. He said hello before, so this is a follow-up question. NPC, I'm functioning. You continue conversation better than most humans. NPC remembers context. It's your first step towards AI-like behavior. People, you're ready to build this, but if you lose focus even for a second, I'll drag you back to level 1 and make you repeat it until your soul cracks. Okay, now tell me, do you want your NPC to remember only the last message? I mean, maybe I think I can get an instruction-based question. Hiding casual, I appreciate you joining the stream. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna say something like, let's say, I think I'm ready to write the code to get some experience on how this works. That said, can I get a clear instructional based question to actually write the code, question mark? Okay, let's see. Okay, why did you redeem it? Guys, I didn't redeem like anything. That's it, Sensei, good. You're finally ready to write code with your own hands instead of hiding behind theory. Is it straighten? Yeah, it's straighten your back, fix your focus. This is your first level 2 memory training mission. I'm giving you a pure instructional task, no code provided. You will write every line yourself, your instructional based question. Okay, level 2 memory. Write a C++ program that does the following. It has a string variable called last message that starts empty, okay? The player types something using the SDL underscore get line. I mean, okay. The NPC replies based on both the current message, the previous message stored. I mean, I could go ahead and use the TDF like true texture font or like SDL underscore events to get this part. That's going to be much more smoother for this. The current message, the NPC replies based on the current message, the previous message stored in last message. The rules must be implemented with if statements. If current message is hello, NPC says greetings. If current message is how are you and the last message was hello, NPC says I'm functioning, thank you for following up. If none of them match, NPC says I don't understand. After replying, the program must update last message to the player's latest input. After replying, the program must update last message to the player's latest input. I see. Loop this interaction forever until the player types exist. Okay, no SDL. Yeah, do this in pure C++. Okay, I guess I'll get Sensei slash ChatGPT in the other tab so I can like actually read the instructions as well. Okay, I wish I had joined earlier. I'm so behind now. Honestly, I don't think it's like that behind. I was just like, whatchamacallit, understanding the basics of how the level 2 works. Because last stream, I did like go over like level 1 of NPC AI chatbot text logic, if that makes any sense. I used if statements for that. This time, I'm going to be using, whatchamacallit, I'm going to be working on with the level 2 type stuff, where the NPC actually sees our old conversations and replies accordingly. That's it. Let me start off by deleting this thing. Maybe let's get the chat a bit here. Okay, you're focusing on NPC AI chat. Don't involve SDL in it, as it will be drastic from your main thing. That actually does make sense. I want to use SDL. I might use the event type, like SDL underscore event underscore text underscore input for getting the user's input instead of using the standard get line. Okay, I see what you're saying. Alright, that's it. Now, firstly, let me start off by including a prof ankle braces. Let's say I want to include IO stream, so I'm gonna go ahead and include IO stream, and then let me go ahead and include prof ankle braces again. Since I am going to be using strings, and I'm going to be working with strings, I'm going to go ahead and include strings. And since I do want to like avoid case sensitivity, so I would have to like lowercase everything, I'm going to go ahead and include the algorithms function as well. Are you training using ChatGPT? Which prompt did you give it? Honestly, I am like actually learning using ChatGPT. That's what the prompt is, like the very basic prompt, like what kind of behavior do I want ChatGPT to have and what's my end goal. My end goal is like my programming for like 250-day series where my goal by the end of this series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it. So this is where I'm working on with the NPC AI logic. Later on, I will be working more on the game logic type stuff. Where can I learn C++, bro? Honestly, if you guys do want like the C++ roadmap that I was following, you guys could like join my Discord server and like mention me that I could like DM you guys the roadmap. That said, you will use SDL to create the window. Honestly, yeah, I could actually do that. That's a good question. Null pointer, what was the prompt? Null pointer, what was the prompt? Honestly, it's not like a special prompt. It's just like I said, like Sensei or like ChatGPT to act like an actual Sensei, and I gave my roadmap type stuff. You guys can like get the roadmap through my Discord server. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and include algorithm as well. So I'm gonna go with something like algorithm. Once I'm done with this, let's go ahead and create a main function. So I'm gonna go with something like integer main, add a prof parentheses, and then a prof curly braces. Now my main function is going to be requiring two parameters. The first parameter is going to be an integer of argc. The second parameter is going to be a character, which is a pointer towards an array of argv. So I'm going to go with something like argv. And now inside my main function, I'm going to go ahead and do something. Firstly, let's see. So the instruction says it has a standard string variable called last message that starts empty. So I got to go ahead and create a standard strings is variable called something like last message. I'm gonna go with something like last message, okay, which is gonna be equal to an empty string ending with a semicolon. And then the second instruction says the player types something using SDL underscore getLine. I might have to add my main loop now for that. Hi, how are you doing? But Randall is our finisher name. I appreciate you joining the stream. That said, I'm going to go ahead and add a comment that says something like main loop. This is going to be my main game loop. Now, inside my main loop, I am going to be requiring a few parameters. The first parameter is going to be a boolean variable of something like is running, which is initially going to be set to true, ending with a semicolon. The second parameter, or the second variable, is going to be a, a event local variable representing my... I might have to include SDL for this because I want to use event types as well. So I'm going to go ahead and include, let's go with something like include a prof ankle braces. Let's say I want to include SDL3 slash SDL.h, which is SDL and SDL's header files. Now I use the SDL underscore events structure that consists of all my SDL's events and is represented by an event variable. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and use a while loop. Let's say something like while is running, while my program is running, or while my is running is set to true, I'm going to do something. I'm going to add a comment that says something like event loop. Event loop is basically going to be a while loop inside of a while loop slash a nested while loop. Okay, just use the comes in line, is that how you pronounce it? Honestly, I haven't like heard of that. I might actually look into that. Okay, you'll use SDL to create window. Honestly, that does make sense. That said, I might actually like work on the window part later. Don't distract your AI logic with SDL. Honestly, I'm just going to be using SDL for the for the text logic type stuff where I can get the user's text input instead of using the SDL underscore get line, if that makes any sense. That said, now my inner while loop or my event loop is going to be requiring a parameter of the SDL underscore poll events function. Now my SDL underscore poll events function does require parameter as well of my events is let's say my events is local variable. The memory address of my events is local variable. Okay, now basically what the SDL underscore poll events function does is it like looks for all the event types that I'm going to be looking for. If any of those event types is met, it does what I tell it to do. For example, I could go with something like if a prof parentheses, let's say if my event type equals to SDL underscore event underscore quit. I mean, I just use this like when I actually want to destroy my SDL's window, but I might just add it here as well. I'm gonna set something like my is a running boolean variable to be false. What this basically means is if my user exited my window, I'm gonna go ahead and end my entire while loop. That said, I might not even like need this here. This is like an overkill here. That said, once I'm done with this, the second event type that I'm going to be checking is like the player type something using the SDL underscore get line. Means I gotta store something inside of my standard string here. To do that, I could go ahead and add another if statement. So I'm going to go with something like if a prof parentheses. Let's say something like if my event dot type equals to SDL underscore event underscore text underscore input. What this event type actually does is it like it checks for all the text inputs that I'm actually having inside of my while loop. Alright guys, let me maybe paste this here. There we go. Okay, and then if my user does type something on my window, I want to go ahead and do something. Firstly, I want to set that inside, like I want to add that in my standard string of last messages variable here, or standard string variable here. Standard strings is variable here, so I'm gonna go with something like last message is gonna increase by my events.text.text. There we go, ending with a semicolon. Okay, and what's the thing that you're trying to do? Honestly, today I am like working on AI text logic type stuff, like how chatbots and everything work. Yesterday I didn't like go over this as well, but yesterday I was like the AI that I had, or like basically my logic was like using if statements to like respond according to the message keywords that I said. Like if my message consists of something like hello, it says greetings. If it consists of bye, it says something like farewell type stuff. But today I am going to be, for the level 2, I am going to be doing something similar, but I'm going to be having like a vector of memory as well. So like my message history. So my player can actually, or my AI, my logic can actually go through the histories and see the kind of conversation that we were having and respond accordingly, if that makes any sense. That's it. Once I'm done with this, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do something else. Now, should I check for something like key down? So this thing appends all the way up there. What if I wanted to like delete a message when I'm typing it? I might go with something like if, let's say something like, I mean, this is saved on my Windows. I could like go ahead and paste something on my Windows, so I might try that. So I'm gonna go with something like if a prof parentheses, if my event.type equals to SDL underscore event underscore key underscore down. If my event type is key down, if my user is currently pushing a button down, then I'm going to go ahead and do something. Firstly, I want to go ahead and use the SDL underscore key codes structure, which is going to be represented by a keys local variable that is going to be set to my event.key.key. What this basically means is that my SDL underscore key codes structure is it like checks if I'm going to be pressing any key, since it's set to my keys local variables, which is set to event.key.key. It checks the exact button that I'm currently pressing. For example, if I press F, it says I'm pressing F. If I press spacebar, it says I'm pressing my spacebar type stuff. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add a switch. In my switch, I'm going to add a condition of my key, then I go with the above curly braces. Now, inside my switch, I'm going to go ahead and add a case. For my first case, I'm going to check if my SDL's key is something like backspace. If my user clicked backspace, then I'm going to do something. I'm going to add a if statement to check if my last message is not empty. I'm gonna check if something like if not a last message dot the empty function, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. And basically why I did do this stuff is because when my user types something, in case he made some kind of mistake, I do want him to be able to like delete his message to like rewrite the message type stuff. Okay, if that is the case, and I added this if statement to check if I at least have something written in my window, that's when I'm going to be deleting something. Now, if there's something written in my window and I click backspace, I'm gonna go ahead and use the last message. There we go. Last message dot the pop underscore back function. What the pop underscore back function does is it like deletes a alphabet from the index. I think it's index -1 of my string, which is the last alphabet of my string. Okay, and then once I'm done with that, let's go ahead and add our next case. But before I add my second case, I'm going to go ahead and break, because apparently we do got to break when we use cases. Now, for my case number 2, I'm going to go ahead and check if my SDL's key is something like return. What this basically means is like return is technically enter in my keyboard. If I click enter in my keyboard, I want to display my stuff on my console. So I'm going to go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. That is going to say something like you with another insertion operator of my last message. So you typed my last message. So this is the message that is going to be displayed on my console. There we go, with another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. Now, since I do want to actually have memory as well, I could use an array type stuff, but I want to use a vector because I feel vectors are a bit more cooler. I mean, vectors do have more flexibility with functions, but arrays are pretty fun as well. That said, I'm going to go ahead and include a pair of anchor braces. Did I spell include wrong? There we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and include vector. Okay, perfect. Now that I'm done including vector, I'm going to go ahead and create a standard vector here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a standard vector with a pair of anchor braces that only consists of standard string. There we go. And then my vector is going to be called something like a message history. There we go, ending with a semicolon. And now, once I display a text on my window, I want to go ahead and store that text on my message histories as vectors. So I'm going to go with something like message history dot the push underscore back function. The push underscore back function is the complete opposite of the pop underscore back. Pop underscore back removes something from the last, removes the last element of my vector, or like from whatever I'm trying to remove. Push underscore back adds something to the last element. I want to add my last message to my vector, and then I go ahead and end it with a semicolon. I think I spelled message wrong. There we go. Okay. Alright, perfect. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and do something. Firstly, I want to go ahead and clear my last message as vector once I actually send something to my console, because I want this to be empty again before I send my next text. So I'm going to do something like my last messages standard string dot declare function with a pair of parentheses ending with a semicolon. I keep spelling message wrong. Excuse me, guys. There we go. Oh, I think I didn't spell it wrong. This should be uppercase. There we go. Now, once I'm done clearing this, I'm going to go ahead and break ending with a semicolon. And then that's actually pretty much it for my first 2 cases. Although I do want to add like another case where I can actually like initiate my return. I mean, I might actually do that later because I don't want to actually add a message. So now that I've got a value for my my last messages variable here, I'm going to go ahead and see the next thing. The rules must be implemented with if statements. So this is where we use if statements. I'm going to go ahead and exit outside of my events loop. Okay, let's go ahead and exit outside of it. Out of the way here. Now, if the current message is hello, if my message is hello, the NPC says greetings. If the current message is how are you, and the last message was hello, the NPC says I'm functioning, thanks for following up. Okay, so to do that, I might have to use a index-based for loop because I will be constantly iterating over my vector. So I'm going to go with something like for a pair of parentheses. Let's say something like for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than my message. Guys, why do I keep spelling message wrong? There we go. While my I is less than or equal to my message histories is vector. There we go. Okay, dot the size function while my I is less than my vector's size, I'm gonna go ahead and increment my I by 1, and then I add a pair of curly braces. Now, inside my for loop, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Let's add a bunch of if statements. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and check if the current message is hello. So I'm gonna check if my last message. So I'm gonna go with something like last message. Okay, if my last message dot find, if it found something like hello, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. And I did forget a lowercase it all, so I might actually go ahead and create a function here called something like lowercase. I might create something like a standard strings function. The reason I am creating a function like lowercase, all my text input is for like case sensitivity, because like for all we know, a user could type something like hello. Let's go with something like hello, or like something like hello type stuff. You guys know what I mean. I want to convert all that to be a lowercase hello. Okay, you're secretly 99999 years old, pretending to be 17 to be a criminal. Guys, I don't think I'm almost 10,000 years old. That's actually kind of crazy. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and create a standard strings function called something like to lower. Now this function is gonna be having a pair of parentheses. Okay, my to lowers this function is going to be requiring, let's say a parameter. I actually forgot what parameter does it require. Let me think. So what else do I want to require as a parameter? Maybe I'll add that when I could think of something. But for the time being, I think it requires a constant text parameter. So it might require a constant standard strings parameter called something like text. So I'm going to go with something like text. There we go. I think this should be kind of correct. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and use these standard transforms as functions. So I'm gonna go with something like standard transform. I think I spelled transform wrong. There we go, with a pair of parentheses. Now my standard transform requires 3 iterators. The first is gonna be something like my text dot begin. Where does my text begin? And then I'm gonna go with something like text dot end. Where does my text end? And then a text dot begin again, where my text should be located inside of my window. Actually, my output, if that makes any sense. Why don't you use label loops? Do you mean like labeling my loops here? Like this is my main loop, that's my event loop type stuff. Okay, that's it. And then once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and add another comma. So I require 3 iterators. This is my first iterator, that's my second iterator. Actually, these are my 3 iterators. The fourth thing that I require is a function inside. So I'm going to be using a, I forgot this function name. It was called something like a lambda function. I think it's lambda. To do the function, you got to add a pair of square brackets. And then you got to go ahead and add a pair of parentheses. My pair of parentheses is going to be saying something like unsigned character of something like C. If my unsigned character is C, I'm going to go ahead and return something. Let's go ahead and return a standard to lower function with a pair of parentheses of my C ending with a semicolon. And then I end my entire function with a semicolon. Guys, I'm pretty sure this is like completely correct. Okay, and that's actually pretty much it for my to lower function. Now let's actually use my function here. So I'm gonna firstly convert my last message to be a lowercase message before I actually save it inside of my vector. To do that, I'm gonna go ahead and say something like okay, let's say something like my to lower this function, I want to lower my last message. Okay. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and end that with a semicolon. Now my lowered message is assigned inside of my vector. Maybe should I go with something like to lower here? Okay guys, I think my to lower should go here, guys, and not here. There we go. Yeah, I think this makes so much more sense now. Alright, perfection, guys. Okay, so now inside my vector, I have a lowercase alphabet. So now, if my last message, if I found a hello in my last message, and not, that is not, let's say something like not equal to a standard string of NPOS. Did I have to add another colon here of NPOS? There we go. Okay, what this basically means is, if I did type hello and my hello was found inside of a message, basically the standard string of NPOS if it's something was not found. So if my hello was not found, which means it was found, then I'm going to go ahead and do something. Okay, NPC says greetings, so I'm going to go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator. That says something like NPC, says something like greetings. Maybe I go with a quotes here. I'm going to go with something like NPC. Greetings. There we go. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to go with something like another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. That's pretty much it for my first if statement iteration. Now for my second iteration, I'm going to do something else. If the current message is how are you and the last message was hello, so I gotta check something like if a prof parentheses if my last message dot find if my last message consists of something like, let's say something like how are you. I'm gonna go with something like how are you. Okay, and let's say something like and my last message was hello, so if my current message is how are you and my last message, how do I send my last message? Should I go with something like a message at index of actually message history? Okay, message history at index of I minus 1. Does this make sense, guys? I think, please tell me I spelled message history wrong. Okay, there we go. The and does not work here though. Did I use the wrong and? What I was actually thinking of doing here is I was checking my current message and then I was subtracting by the message before it. So like one message before the current message that I have here. Does that like not work here? What if I just go with something like I? That does not work as well. I'm pretty sure the two ampersand is considered and. Okay, what up guys, it says built-in operator and boolean. So does not match argument because number 2 does not match a parameter. I gotta check boolean and boolean. This is not boolean. Oh, I see. Okay, hold up guys, I think I see. Let's go a bit back. Okay, hold up guys, let's say something like find. If I found something like how are you, let's say something like how are you, and then I'm gonna go ahead and exit outside of my find, and then I'm gonna add let's say something like and my message history. Okay, at index of I minus 1. There we go guys, it works. I minus 1. Okay, I minus 1 didn't work. Hey, hi doing Tanish, I appreciate you joining the stream. I want help in my project about C++ coding. That actually does sound kind of cool. You could actually like tell me what kind of project it is, like what you may call it in my Discord server, maybe even in the chat, because I feel it is pretty easy to like read the comments in the Discord server compared to like chats if it's like an actual code. That said, I might actually be able to help you there. Okay, so it says how are you. Is there like a different operator to use for and here? Okay, I'm not from this field. Oh, okay, that does make sense as well. I did like so far learn software engineering and like C++, but I am actually working on chatbot logic as well now in C++ for my NPC to get AI intelligence, if that makes any sense. That's it. And why does my and not work here? Okay, message history. The and works if I don't have anything here. Like if I... This is the only time and works. But if I go with something like 1. Okay, maybe I go with I minus 1 and I might ask sensei / ChatGPT why is this part not working, because apparently this part should work my second if statement. But let's try the whole code. Okay, and the last message was hello. Okay, and message history at index of I minus 1 equals to hello. Does this work? It works, guys. I don't think I need ChatGPT / sensei for help here. Okay, guys, there's no way I actually like figure this part out. Oh, there we go. If it is hello, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something here. I'm gonna add a prof curly braces, and then let's see. Okay, so NPC says I'm functioning, thanks for following up. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like NPC. Okay, let's say something like NPC say something like I'm functioning. Okay, Fuctioning, Functioning. Guys, I gotta make sure of my spellings. I get way too many typos. Dot dot dot. Thanks for following up. Okay, so I'm gonna go with something like thanks for following up. Okay, what's the meaning of sensei? Honestly, sensei in Japanese is considered as teacher type stuff because I thought it does sound kind of cool as well. I'm gonna go with something like thanks for following up. So I'm gonna go with something like following up. Okay, with a period, and then I'm gonna add another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. It's like a architectural project where I'm building a rover for solid testing where the Arduino Mega 2560 as a microcontroller and SIM 7000 CS connection module and sensors, and I want it on mobile. Alright, Tanish, I don't think I can help you with that. I'm not that advanced. I thought it was going to be a bit basic because, like, I didn't like whatchamacallit. I feel like I am still a beginner in C++, but I am understanding it mostly. Maybe, guys, in the next 3 or 5 months, I might actually get to your level. Okay, howdy all things. I appreciate you joining the stream. Which country are you from? My name is also Vivek. That actually sounds so cool, guys. I think we have the same name. Okay, that's it. After going with a standard end line, I'm going to go ahead and read the next instruction. If none of the rules match, NPC says, I don't understand. So I might go ahead and add an else clause with a row of curly braces that says something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. I do not understand. Hello, guys. There we go. I do not understand with a period, and then I'll go with another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. Okay, loop this interaction forever until the player types exit. So I might actually not have... okay, this is an event type. I might actually add another event type here. Let's go ahead and add something like if a row of parentheses, let's say something like if my last message, okay, equals to something like exit, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. If my last message, maybe I go with something like if to lower function of my last message is something like exit, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Let's go ahead and delete that part. There we go. If that is set to exit, then I'm gonna go ahead and set my is running boolean variable to be set to false, ending with a semicolon. Yo, English is weird, man. Guys, I actually get that a lot. Okay, can you connect with me? Someone who knows this, it would be a great help. Honestly, I would actually love to connect with you, but then I feel like I'm not that advanced to actually understand that stuff and all that. But eventually, someday in the future, I might actually be really good with that stuff, guys. What you're trying to build, honestly, today is like the level 2 of chatbot where like yesterday I was trying to build like a AI chatbot type logic. Yesterday was level 1 where I where my logic or my AI, it actually replies to me by looking if my console output was some kind of keywords, for example, hello, bye, or like how are you type stuff. Today I want to do the same exact thing, but then also my AI is going to look through the message histories is vectored. This is where all my old messages are stored, so it's going to see patterns there, and depending on that, it's going to be giving me a reply type stuff. That makes any sense? Guys, maybe I want to drink some coffee. Okay, that's actually perfectly bitter. I actually like bitter coffees for some reason. Okay, once I'm done with that, that should actually be pretty much it, just for the basic time being. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit outside of my main loop right here. And then let's go ahead and add a comment that says something like cleanup. This is gonna be me cleaning a few things up. For my cleanup, I want to go with something like SDL underscore quit with a row of parentheses ending with a semicolon. I want to quit my SDL and return 0. Alright, now, if audit control has to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, it says, you cannot assign to a variable that is constant. I see a sub expression may overflow being assigned to a word type. Okay, function to lower can be made static. I think I see. Let's scroll all the way up. Okay, do you like coffee? Honestly, I love coffee. Coffee feels like really insane, guys. Okay, where are you from? Why is your accent so different? Honestly, I used to actually answer where I was from, but I did like avoid saying that these days. That's a constant, so I might just go with a standard string instead of a constant standard string. Now for it controllers to save the code and run the command, it says function to lower can be made static. Okay, I get these same errors. Must return a value. Oh, I see. My bad, guys. Let's go here and return text. I actually forgot all about returning here. Okay, and I could change this back to being constant. I made this exact same mistake last stream as well. And now for it controllers to save the code and run the commands. You cannot assign a variable to that constant. So let's go ahead and remove the constant again. Now let's save the code and run the command and see what happens. Okay, so I get my first window here. Let's say something like hello. Okay, can't type something so far. Is it because I did not actually create a window or like add a true texture font? Oh, I think I know. Hold up, guys. Let's go ahead and run the code again. Are you gay? Honestly, no, I'm straight. Let's type something like hi. Hit enter. Okay, something weird is kind of wrong here. Hold up, guys. When I do add my message text and everything, this is event.key. Let me think really hard. There we go, guys. I did not initialize my SDL. That was kind of stupid. Let's go ahead and initialize my SDL. Initialize SDL3. Now to initialize my SDL3, I'm going to use a if statement to check if my SDL was initialized, and also I'm going to use a if statement to check if my SDL was not initialized properly while also initializing it. So I'm going to say something like if not SDL underscore init with a pair of parentheses SDL underscore init underscore video. If the video section of my SDL was not initialized properly, I'm going to go ahead and do something. What other programming languages do you know? C++ and C. Honestly, I know C++ and Python. I first started Python, then moved on to C++. You can simply add using namespace std after the header file. That way you don't need to add those standards. Honestly, many of you guys did like recommend such say me that when I start my C++ series, but then the reason I don't actually use standard actually a namespace std is because eventually in bigger projects, not prefixing with standard can actually get us can actually cause name conflict. So it is a pretty good practice to actually use using namespace std while typing in code. And guys, I couldn't phrase that properly because I was like typing while talking. That said, I'm going to go ahead and return 1. And now for it controller to save the code and run the command. This should work perfectly, guys. I get my first window here. I say something like hi. Okay, why does it not work? I initialize my SDL here. Okay, SDL underscore init underscore video. Maybe I do gotta create my window and all that. What is your age and class? Honestly, I am like 17. That's it. I'm going to be turning 18 really soon, guys. My birthday is like on January 5th. That's it. I am like a freshman in college. Okay, maybe I need some more coffee to jog my memory up. Okay, so it says SDL underscore poll event. I initialize my SDL up here. Guys, that's so stupid of me. Why do I keep doing these things? Let's copy that. I want to initialize my SDL all the way here. Now for it controllers to save the code and run the command. This should work perfectly. I get my first window here. Hi. Okay, that does not work either. Am I actually messing something up? Are you a BEch student, computer science? Is that a peninsula? Honestly, no, I haven't like taken any programming courses yet. That's it. I am actually kind of excited to take them soon. Okay, what exactly are you making? For the time being, I'm trying to like get something to be displayed on the window. I could like use, instead of using the SDL underscore event underscore text underscore input, I could use regular standard get line, but I don't want to use it. I want to do it through SDL. Okay, but for that, I'm trying to, let's see. I add a if statement. Let me think really hard. In my events loop that I use my SDL underscore poll event here. My poll event is here, my is running is here. Firstly, I initialize my SDL's video section. If it does not, I give myself an error type stuff. And then I create a main loop. Before main loop, there are basic game variables and all that, but I don't want those. Okay, when your hard work accent starts sounding gay. Guys, I don't even think like it's hard work accent because like I usually talk like this, so it's like a natural accent. Okay, what's your project about? I mean, it's actually like a chatbot type system, but this is like a basic chatbot type system. It does go like in three levels. Yesterday I went through level 1, very basic, using if statements to like get a reply back from my AI. Today's level 2, reading my histories and like seeing patterns there and actually giving me a reply. Level 3 is going to be just actually constantly having a whole conversation with AI type stuff. That's a nice good. At least sounds American. Guys, that actually does make sense. Okay, your way of talking is very gay. Guys, that actually does sound kind of weird. That said, a standard end line. I do break here as well. Am I messing something up here? These are the conditions that we check. If my last message dot find is hello and it was found, I go with a standard console output. You know what, guys? Maybe I go with something like a control C, copy that. How doing, Ablight? I appreciate you joining the stream. I think our hormones are in bad shape, though. Honestly, I mean, I could like talk like in different ways as well. I do prefer talking like this because like what you would call it. I think it does sound kind of cool, guys. And like I feel this has become my natural over time. Okay, let's get project. I mean, let's give some say slash chat GPT here. Let's go ahead and extend that and then extend that from here as well. Let's go ahead and get that up here. Now let's paste and go shift enter and say something like, Sensei, I feel like I messed up exclamation. Most irritating live, guys. Okay, I told you, just use normal read line. Don't distract yourself with SDL. That does make sense, but eventually I do want to like use it though, but that does make sense. Transforming from day 1 to day 100, becoming gay by coding. Guys, guys, gay by coding is actually kind of crazy. Okay, check for some undefined new lines or IDE outputs, or since you're using VS Code, the terminal window might show some issues. Honestly, I'm not like using Visual Studio Code, I'm just using Visual Studio. That's it. Since people, you didn't feel like you messed up, you definitely messed up. But that's exactly why we're here, and you're going to fix this with those two hands of yours, okay? Listen carefully, because I'm about to break down every major mistake you made, not fix it for you, just expose it so you can fix it by yourself. Your errors explained with surgical precision. You use SDL even though I told you pure C++ only, guys, that was my bad. Is this live? Honestly, it is live. That said, you used SDL even though I told you C++ only. You went straight into SDL text input keys, events, renderer. That's level 99 when you're still on level 2 of NPC memory logic. Okay guys, I think that was on me. How does one even get started trying to build a chatbot in C? Honestly, it is C++. I feel like I don't have much knowledge in it, but so far as I've been like learning this, I feel like when you actually have a vector that stores all your messages, your AI slash your chatbot, it scans or like it skims over all those messages and it responds like accordingly, if that makes any sense. Okay, he's doing old school NPC, not like chat GPT level. That does make sense, guys. Okay, this should be a simple console program using standard getLine. You overcomplicated everything. Your exit check is wrong. You wrote if to lower last message, but this is inside the SDL event loop and you're checking last message before the player even presses enter. Completely wrong logic flow. Your NPC logic uses last message instead of the current input. You're looping through the message history like this. Last message is empty at this point. Your condition always fails. You should be using the current message, not the leftover string you're editing. Okay. You did this and it does nothing. Last message. This line is just floating like a lost soul. It doesn't do anything. It's not printing, not storing, not updating. This is pure noise. Your second condition is broken if last message dot find how are you makes inside one line alone. Find must be compared with not equal to standard string and POS. You use negative I minus 1 without checking if 1 is at least 1. First iteration will crash. You still use last message instead of real input. Your put NPC logic inside the event loop. That means the NPC tries to replay every frame inside once per message. Madness. None of these match the assignments. The assignment was simple console get line 1 variable for last message if logic loop exit. Not SDL events renderer message history vector text editing logic key code handling. You sprinted into a battlefield you aren't even ready for. Guys, this is a lesson actually for me. I feel like I shouldn't be pushing, I shouldn't actually be rushing with this. Want to test some C++ basics? Honestly, it does sound kind of cool. That's how a AI chatbot works. You're wrong. Oh, I see. That's not how it works. What is this SDL thing? What does it do and what is it used for? Honestly, if you guys are like familiar with like games in Python, it's almost the same, but Pygame only works with Python. In the other hand, SDL3 does work with C, C++, C Sharp, and maybe a few other languages as well. He cannot be offended. He is. Guys, I'm actually not offended. Hello, brother. How's it going? How doing? Yes, I appreciate you joining the stream. Bro, your program algo is so wrong, guys. That does make sense. Okay, do we speak at home in coding language also? I do want to actually try that. It sounds kind of cool. Okay, why are you shouting? Can you speak slowly? That does make sense, guys. Even like people like from my family do say like I speak way too loud. I'm like, I naturally do speak loud, guys. I feel like, because even though having my kid, I had to set a limiter that actually decreases my volume. If that makes any sense. Even ChatGPT refused to fix your messy code, guys. I said ChatGPT not to like give me the answers because I want to like actually try using my brains. Okay, just standard string last message, standard string current message, standard get line, standard send current message, if checks, update message, loop until player types exit. Okay. Okay, which other language do you speak? Honestly, I think I can like speak a bit Hindi, but I'm not like as fluent in it as I'm in English, because like English I could like express / like convey myself really easily because I know most of the phrases and words. Okay, that said, can you give me what up, guys? I think I opened something up here. Let's close that. Okay, there we go. Okay, now let's go ahead and extend this real quick. Get that there. There we go. Okay, can you give me the main idea of the program? I want to help. Honestly, basically the main idea is me actually trying to make a chatbot type logic, or just a basic chatbot type logic. Okay, I can hear clipping. I always hear clipping. Clipping? Is it like something in my audio type stuff? ChatGPT got rage baited. Guys, rage baited is actually crazy. That's it. I can hear clipping. I always hear clipping. Is this something related to my mic? Should I get my mic lower? Guys, let me know if that's good. Okay, what instruction did you give ChatGPT? Guys, I feel like the entire instruction is kind of a secret type stuff because there is like some private stuff there. That's it. Basically, I did say ChatGPT to like act like ChatGPT or like act like a sensei, which is basically a teacher in Japanese, and like I gave it my roadmap for like C++ and said what my main goal is supposed to be by the end of this program for like 258 CVs. If you guys do want the roadmap, you guys could like join my Discord server and ask me there, or like mention me there, because like I do like have my roadmap on my Discord server. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and include string as well. And guys, I'm gonna keep this really basic this time. I'm not gonna do the mistake of like whatchamacallit being too advanced. Next, I'm gonna go with something like algorithm. Okay, and then once I'm done with this, I'm gonna hydrate my lips real quick because it feels it's kind of dehydrated. Okay, basic chatbot interface. No, that's just basic input output working. How can you get it wrong, guys? I actually feel that does make sense. There is no way I actually got that part wrong. I think I got it wrong because I was trying to get fancy using like SDL, because I wanted to like get SDL then load a PNG when I type something, my PNG in my window responds to me, if that makes any sense, using the true texture fonts library. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and create a basic main function here. Before that, I might create something like a standard string of two lowers this function with a pair of parentheses that consist of a standard string variable called something like, I don't know, maybe text. Okay, and then I go with a pair of curly braces. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and use the standard standard transform this function that requires 3 iterators and 1 function. The first iterator is going to be my text.begin. Where does my text begin from? And then the second iterator is going to be my text.end. Where does my text end? Okay, and the third and final iterator is going to be my text.begin. Where is my text located on my output? And then I add another, let's say, comma here and go with my function. I'm going to be using a lambda function, which is basically going to be a pair of square brackets, a pair of parentheses, unsigned character of C, and then I'm going to go with a pair of curly braces. If my unsigned character is C, I'm going to go ahead and return a standard to lower with a pair of parentheses of my C, ending with a semicolon, then ending my entire function with a semicolon. There we go, unsigned character of C. Okay, hardcore advice. Guys, you're going to rewrite the whole program again. Oh god, I'm done with this bullshit. Good night, Pookie boy. Honestly, I appreciate you sticking through stream 8-bit. I'll catch you next stream. You should either use the debugger to check the values of different variables or just print out the values using standard console output. That actually does make sense. That way you can check what went wrong. Okay, if you want to get response, you have to give it a particular set of inputs so that your text responds to it. Got it? Actually, that does make sense. It feels a bit advanced, but then I feel I do understand the meaning of what you guys actually mean. I am actually trying to get to that point. Okay, hiding RTM, I appreciate you joining the stream, bro. Stop yapping so much. It's midnight, 2 o'clock, guys. It's almost like, it's actually 2 p.m. for me. Professional yapper, guys. I'm starting to feel like that did make sense these days. Because when I do like watch my stream again, I'm like, guys, I actually talk way too much these days. Before I started streaming, I used to actually not talk this much. I used to like be like a really quiet guy. Keep it up. Honestly, I appreciate you, Jazzy. I appreciate you joining the stream. That said, I'm gonna go with something like a character, which is going to be a pointer towards an array of argwi. Now, the important part. Firstly, I'm gonna be requiring a few variables. The first variable is going to be a standard string variable of my last message, which is going to be equal to an empty string ending with a semicolon. Then a standard string, I'm gonna go with something like a standard string of, let's say, something like a current message, okay, which is going to be ending with a semicolon. And then I might need a vector. What was everything that I would actually need? Let's scroll all the way down. 2 p.m. Huh? Where do you live? Honestly, I used to answer much, but these days I don't like start avoid saying that. Okay, if yapping was not a sport, you'll be top number 1 on the whole world. Guys, top number 1 on the whole world is actually pretty insane. That's it. I feel like there are still people who like talk way more than I do. I do want to get to that level where I can like talk for like almost a whole day without any rest, guys. Okay, bro, trying to become a gay yapper. Guys, I'm actually straight. Okay, I think you don't know shit about programming and just keep yapping. Guys, I do actually know, but then when I learn new topics, I wouldn't be able to know the new topic before I do get some practice. Because this is like my second day trying to work with AI chatbot logic. Before this, I did like work with just the regular game logic. Yeah, I just spam chat GPT and cannot get basics right. Guys, I think like if I can't get basics right that I started like yesterday, that does make sense. Okay, Gen Z is doomed. Guys, honestly, I am Gen Z. I got confused for a second. I was like, was I Gen Alpha? I was like, no, mind, guys. I'm almost 18. That's it. I mean, I feel like, of course, like when I first start the stuff, it is going to be harder. But eventually, like in a week or so, I feel like I'm going to get a pretty good gist of this stuff. Hey, brother, how are you doing, Ducky? I appreciate you joining the stream. Next up, I gotta use the standard get line to get my current message. Oh, I see what's the idea of this. I'm gonna use the standard get line. Okay, to do some things, I'm going to use the standard get line with a parentheses. This is going to have a standard console input, and I want to store it in my current message. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, I got to go ahead and add if checks. I finally learned some HTML. That sounds so cool. Good luck with that, whatchamacallit, Ducky. Hey, you take banana daily? I mean, I like banana milkshake and maybe sometimes banana bread as well. I mean, I do like eating raw bananas too, but I feel like, guys, I think I might like oranges a bit more. Actually, I actually like all fruits, guys. Okay, you are the being and assemble to someone trying to learn instead of sleeping. Guys, I just woke up from sleep a few hours ago. It's good that you're coding, but you should focus on that more. That does make sense, guys. I'm not going to be reading the chat. If you want better, that is gonna learn more. Good luck with that, Ducky. Okay, guys, now I'm not gonna be reading the chat for a bit. I'm just gonna be focusing on what I got it right. Next up, the previous message stored in last message. To type something, the NPC replies based on both the current message and the previous message. Stored in last message, the rules must be implemented through if statements. Fine, I'm gonna use an if statement. How do I store something on my last message? I have my current message. Should I add an if statement to say something like if current message equals to something stored in my last message, or store my current message in my last message? You live in USA? Maybe, guys, maybe not. Okay, that's not how you learn. He has been yapping 24/7 for the last month in my feed and he's still on basics. I call bullshit, guys. It's actually not basic. This is a new topic because this is AI logic that I'm working on. Before, I used to work on with the SDL logic, where I made like actually a lot of progress. That's it. If C++ is too hard for you, kid, go back to Python. C++ is actually not too hard. I feel like it is kind of easy once you actually get the basics down. Okay, let's see. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add an if statement. I want to store something to my last message. So, this is my current message that I have. If I type something else, should I go with something like my current message? Actually, if current message dot get line, I store that in my last message and then I clear it. How do I check that part though? Are you gay? Honestly, guys, I am straight. Okay, maybe. Let's see. So the previous message stored in last message. That means should this go inside a while loop? I think this might go inside a while loop. So I might add a comment that says something like main loop. My main loop is going to be having a few variables. The first is going to be a boolean of his running variable, which is going to be set to true, ending with a semicolon. And then I'm going to go ahead and add something like while. Let's go with something like while, a broke parentheses. Let's say something like while is running, while my program is running, I'm going to go ahead and do something. Let's paste this inside. So I'm going to copy that, delete it from here, and paste it here. He's working on ChatGPT 2. Guys, I think ChatGPT 2 is also actually too advanced for this. This might be like... Actually, I don't think I've used ChatGPT 2. I think I've used ChatGPT ever since the 3rd version or something. I actually don't remember. I made a TUI in Bash. That sounds really cool. Okay, so I go with something like if. Actually, instead of my if statement here, when I get a text, since this is a while loop, I'm going to go ahead and do something. Let's see. So this is my text. I'm going to go with something like last message dot the push underscore back. I want to push back my current message. Ending with a semicolon. I can't do that. This is not a vector. I know this is like the real basics here. You speak like a robot, guys. Maybe because I've been influenced by ChatGPT / say, guys. Yeah, I do think he was learning wrong, just trying to write exactly what ChatGPT showed, but I don't think he's doing that now. That actually does make sense. These days, I do like try to actually try adding my own logic to it, so I understand the part as well. Okay, HTML defines a document, CNST makes a border, JavaScript is what makes HTML interactive. I see 8-bit. Are you jealous or just toxic? Bro, learn Flutter will work in Flutter. Flutter sounds cool. Maybe after I program for like 250 a series, I might actually try that. That said, guys, what if I convert this to be a vector, but I do want to convert it to be a vector. I want to... Oh, wait, hold up, guys. Last message equals to current message. There we go. I think this actually works. Ending with a semicolon. Okay, that was actually perfect, guys. My current message is going to be lower, so I'm going to go with something like to lower current message with a prof parentheses. So there we go. Okay, and then can't I go with the lower here? Maybe not, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Let's set my current message here to be something like to lower with a prof parentheses. This is going to be my lowercase current message ending with a semicolon. And wait, can't I go with to lower current message? I thought I could have done that. Never mind. Maybe add that sometime later. So, okay, what if I add it here? Can I go here? So I'll go with something like to lower. Okay, this is going to be my to lowered current message ending with a semicolon. It works here. Now my last message is a lowercase of my current message. Although, how do I convert this to be a lowercase as well? Okay, HTML is the basics of web. I did actually want to learn HTML as my first language, but for some reason I kept procrastinating. Like, I thought to try it like 2 or 3 years ago. Assign getLine to current message. Assign getLine to current message. Honestly, I did like assign my getLine to my current message because like when I type something, that is going to be stored in my current message. And then once I type something else, it's going to be stored on my last message, if that makes any sense. Okay, never mind. Okay, next up. I think I'll just work with this for the time being. Now, the rules must be implemented with if statements. So, I'm going to go ahead and add a if statement here. HTML is way too easy. I see. Okay, so I'm going to go with something like if. Let's say something like, if my current message, okay, current message is equal to hello, or if my current message dot find, if I found hello in my current message, and not equal to standard string of npos. Okay, and my hello was found in my string. Then I'm going to go ahead and do something. I'm going to add a standard console output with an insertion on with excuse me guys, with an insertion operator that says something like greetings. Okay, with another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. Easier than Python? Honestly, I have like heard HTML is easier, but easier than Python? Honestly, I might actually have to like try that. It might take me a very less time to learn in that case. So I'm gonna go with something like standard end line. Maybe I drink some more coffee, guys. Okay, perfect. Guys, I just realized I was like wetting my entire table with that coffee because it was kind of wet. Okay, now I'm gonna add another if statement. Let's go with something like if a of parentheses. Let's say something like if my current message. Actually, if my okay, so if the current message says hello, say greetings. If the current message is how are you and the last message was hello. If the current message dot find with a of parentheses says something like how are you, I'm gonna go with something like how are you. How are you? Okay. And so I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna type something like and my last message dot find and my last message was hello. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I'm gonna add a pair of curly braces, add a standard console output with an insertion operator, which says something like I'm functioning. Okay, I'm functioning dot dot dot. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. Exclamation. With another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. Have you tried Rust? Honestly, I haven't like tried Rust yet, but I do want to actually learn Rust because I heard like Rust is pretty good for like AIs and machine learning. I don't know much about machine learning. Fact check me guys about that. This guy for the last 1 month didn't make a single thing working. He's just keep writing code and yapping. What a waste of time. 8-bit, I think you didn't actually watch my streams. I think you should like actually check the end result of my streams because like this is a really new topic to me that I started yesterday of like AI logic. Before this, I did like work with like game logic where I added gravity logic, where I added like the floor stuff and I added landing type stuff as well, and even text input where I type something on my window that is going to be displaying. When I type something on my keyboard that is displayed on my window, if I hit enter, it displays on my console and it is saved on my memories as history, a vector consisting of my histories. And I forgot what else I did there. That's it. Once I'm done with that, now I'm gonna go ahead and add another if statement here. The next if statement, if none of the rules match, say I don't understand. So I'm gonna go with something like maybe a if statement that says something like if my current message is if my current message dot find is something like I don't know, maybe exit. If my current message is exit and not equals to a standard string of npos, so npos, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Firstly, I'm gonna add a standard actually I'm not gonna add a maybe I'm gonna say something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. Farewell. I'm gonna say something like farewell dot dot dot, and then I'm gonna add another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then I go ahead and set my is running to be equal to false. That ends my entire while loop. Bro, it deserve all the gates. That actually does sound kind of cool. Okay, he makes something that technically works but isn't really combined and coherent. That does make sense. Eventually, I want to learn them because I have like heard people they like combine like Python and C++ as projects together. I don't know how to do that. I want to like actually learn that. He should be named Yapper bin Laden, not Vivek. Guys, Lapper bin Laden is actually kind of crazy. He goes around way when Vivek the Yapper is around, guys. That does actually make sense. Okay, that's it. Let's drink some more coffee. I'm kind of thirsty. Maybe I should drink some water instead. Okay, and then lastly, let's go ahead and add a else clause. I'm gonna say something like else if of curly braces. Let's add a standard console output. So I'm gonna go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like I do not understand. I'm gonna go with something like I do not understand with a forward slash near line ending with a semicolon. Alright, perfect. That's actually pretty much it. After replying, the program must update the last message. Oh, I see, I see. Hold up, guys. In that case, let me go ahead and copy this part. Alright, guys, I was actually kind of choking for some reason. Okay, what made you pick C++? Honestly, I had like a programming for like 258 series where my goal by the end of that, series was to make a game in general that consists of AI logic. And since I thought I was going to be making a game, at the time, I thought that C++ was the best language for making games. I apparently still think that as well, unless like I'm actually wrong. That's it. That's the actual reason I actually like, whatchamacallit, wanted to use C++ because I've heard it's a pretty fast language as well. Bro, take a few seconds to breathe off. Your lungs can't hold on much yapping. See exactly what I said, guys. I think I just need some water. Hold up, guys. Let me drink some water real quick. There we go. Okay, guys. I feel like my lungs are good again. Next up, let's see. Why do I have a pair of curly braces here now? Actually, why do I have a red underline here? I add a bunch of if statements. Of course. I gotta go ahead and get this inside of my if statement, not outside. There we go. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Let's paste it there. And lastly, let's paste it here as well. Wait, I might not need it here. Okay, let's go ahead and delete this part. Let's go ahead and delete that part. Maybe remove the extra spacing from here. Alright, perfect. That's actually pretty much it. And then the player's latest and put the loop exits in and with an interaction type stuff. That's pretty much it. Lastly, let's go ahead and return 0, ending with a semicolon. Now, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, and because he's a scammer, guys, scammer is actually crazy. To lower must return a value. Guys, I keep forgetting this part. Let's go ahead and return text. Return text, ending with a semicolon. Now, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I get my terminal here. Okay, there can be a statement between the if and else. Honestly, there can be like an else if. Okay, let's say something like hello. Okay, it says I'm functioning. Thank you for asking. I do not understand. Wait, is this what you meant? There can be a statement between the if and else if. I could. Do you have a boyfriend? Honestly, guys, I'm actually not dating at the moment. Actually, I've never dated anyone. That said, why are you so rude to him, guys? I feel they're just like messing with me, guys. I think it's kind of funny. That said, if current message dot find, it says something like this. Okay, I don't display my message on my screen, right? So I could actually do that as well. This is a standard NPOS, okay? If the current message is hello, greetings, else if. What if I try with else if? Else if. Let's change this to be an else if as well. Else if. Now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. You deleted what I was talking about? Did I? Actually, I didn't delete anything. He should use a switch. Oh, actually, guys, I forgot about switches. Switches are much cooler. There we go. It says hello. I'm functioning. Thank you for asking. How are you? I don't understand. Bye. I don't understand. Exit. Farewell. Okay, now the hello's the section here. If my current message is hello and last message equals to current message here. I mean, let me go with something like Control C, copy that. Let's get some C/GPT here. Won't work for this. Okay, he just admitted he's gay. He just said he doesn't have any boyfriend and isn't dating. Guys, I didn't say I was gay. I'm actually pretty straight. I was like, I haven't been dating anyone for the time being or anything. That said, probably because like I don't have enough time for that. Okay, now let's go ahead and exit. Let's go ahead and extend that. Let's go ahead and paste it. Go with Shift Enter and see something like sensei. It's much better than the last time, but it still feels kind of messed up, question mark. Okay, you can try Gemini API. Honestly, I would actually try different AIs, but guys, I feel like I'm really attached to ChatGPT. That's it. HTML isn't a language, the coding language. Oh, I see. Okay, no short live streams. Honestly, I do like have a vertical one as well. So many haters in the chat, guys. That actually does make sense. Okay, is this live? Do you know that endline flushes the buffer? I think it can affect performance when you need a new line. Oh, I see. Okay, but like, have you ever had a boy crush? Honestly, never, guys. Why would I have like a boy crush? I mean, it's not like it's bad to have a boy crush type stuff. I just don't. I prefer girls. Okay, that's a kindergarten level chatbot you just made. It'll be a disrespect to call this AI. I mean, I am like a beginner, so that does make sense. Okay, sit down, people. Your sensei must let the bugs out of your code before they multiply and form a cult. Let's carve your program like a katana through a warm tofu. The two big problems you did not check dot find in your second condition. You know, dot find returns index like 0512, but the substring isn't found. It returns standard string NPOS. Your condition is basically saying if the index returned by find is any non-zero number, consider it true. If how are you appears, 0 is false. If blah blah blah, how are you appears at index 7, true. Oh, I see. If it's not present at all, also true. Because NPOS is a giant unsigned number, true. You see chaos you've created. So I gotta always add standard NPOS last message, NPOS as well. And you did not lowercase current message before checking. The rules become unreadable unless input goes through lower. Yeah, I guess he has selective visual issue when he sees do you have a boyfriend, he sees do you have a girlfriend. Guys, actually, I did see do I have a boyfriend as well, but like I prefer girls more than guys, guys. Actually, it like depends. Just when it comes to dating, I prefer girls, but like for the time being, I did not prefer girls or guys at all. Okay, you're too dependent on ChatGPT. Try spending at least 10 minutes to solve an issue, guys. Last stream, I did actually do that, but when it's a new topic, I think it's going to be a complete waste of time if I like try figuring it out myself without understanding anything about it. Okay, hey, look, we won't judge, just be honest. Are you not straight, guys? I am straight. That's how I implementing the video game definition or AI, like ChatGPT type of AI. Eventually, I do want to add like advanced AIs to like my PNGs or my characters or my sprites that I add to my game. But then for the time being, I'm learning how that actually works. Eventually, I want them to have like a mind of their own, and depending on what they're thinking to like move and do action, if that makes any sense. Okay, I'm not dependent on ChatGPT, and trust me, since the start of AI dependence, AI solutions looked extremely bad. I mean, AI is like advancing really fast, so I feel like it'd be like kind of a bad move not to like actually use them. But eventually, like if you guys have been watching my streams, when I started with the text input type stuff, ChatGPT was wrong, so I had to go over the docs and all that stuff to actually get the correct code type stuff. That said, he prefers girls, but girls run away when Vivek starts yapping. Guys, that's I feel like I'm fine with either. Actually, I don't want like a regular type girl. I do want someone whose social standing is high as well. Like, I want someone who's like completely dependent. I mean, independent. You guys know what I mean. Okay, that said, Sensei's word that you're close, but this AI still behaves like a toddler. So to fix that, I'm gonna go all the way here. Let's scroll all the way down here. Okay, which is going to be not equal to a standard string of NPOS. There we go, and then I'm going to go with something like not equal to a standard string of NPOS. That should apparently work right now. He should be called Yapper Bin Laden, not Vivek the Yapper. Guys, Vivek the Yapper is kind of crazy. Of course he'll run away. Look at his score. Guys, that's actually kind of funny. Okay, you're not just finding substrings and strings, calling it a chatbot. What kind of scam is this, guys? This is like just the basics of me learning. Okay, most of these issues you can figure it out in your own. Like this one, you could have solved it if you just googled how functions work. That does make sense. He's literally Indian tech support scammer. This guy's as not a scammer, guys. Scammer is actually kind of crazy. That's it. Let's see. Now I gotta convert my current message to be a lowercase current message. To do that, I'm gonna go ahead and copy this, delete this. I'm gonna use the to lower. I hope this works. Last time, apparently it didn't work. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and paste this here. Okay, this part does not work for some reason. Maybe because this is not equal to a pair of empty strings. Okay, that is not the reason. Maybe I go ahead and set this to be something like to lower with a pair of parentheses. Paste that here. Okay, let's go ahead and set this equal to an empty string. Okay, I mean, the to lower part does not work here. I might actually figure that out in a bit. That's it. Let's go ahead and delete this here. Let's delete that here. Standard console output. Save it here. Okay, it's not crazy, rather true. Okay, you're learning C++ as long as I have watched your videos. How much has it been? 2 months? Honestly, it hasn't like been two. Actually, you know what? I think it's been more than 2 months because like inside of my programming for like 258 series, I had like a C++ for like 100 series indented inside of it. So basically, I was gonna learn like C++ for like 100 days a month. That was over. I was gonna be moving on to like different kind of content for like my game that should consist of AI logic. If that makes any sense. Still printing messages, introduction to C++. Okay, you can keep the text file having these texts. Okay, there that way it would be more scalable, question mark, as you can add much data in the file without modifying code. That does make sense. He's learning YPP, Yapper plus plus, guys, that's actually kind of funny. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Now if I need controllers to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Maybe I want to drink some coffee as well. Guys, I don't know why I actually like coffee so much. That's it. I'm going to type something like hello. I do not understand. Hello? Greetings. How are you? I do not understand. How are you? Question mark. I'm functioning. Thanks for asking. Bye. Okay, doesn't understand that. I'm going to say something like how are you? Okay, let's see. I do not understand. So it is working, guys. Apparently my logic is working. If I say something like hello, and then, hold up guys, if I say something like hello, and then I say something like how are you? How are you? It says I'm functioning fine. So if hello is stored inside of my memory and I say how are you, it replies with this. But now since how are you is stored in my previous message, if I say something like how are you again, question mark, it says I do not understand. It does work actually. Okay, he's still playing with strings. He's been coding since the last 3 months. How slow are you guys? You guys should watch my old streams. I'm actually working with with like standard strings right now because this is like a new concept to me. Even though I did start C++ about more than 2 months ago, I did work on a different context, actually a different topic, which was SDL. Now I'm actually working on the AI logic type stuff. Senior YPP developer, guys, that's actually kind of crazy. ChatGPT, why that to lower current message doesn't work? That's important basics. I should actually ask that. Hold up. Why does the to lower current message doesn't work? Okay, let's check where the to lower would work. Standard string. This should be a standard string of text. To lower with a text. This is a standard string. Honestly, it should like work, bro. My second semester is starting from Monday. And now I'll also study DSA with C++. That's so cool. Good luck with that, BCB. Okay, blind person can write better code than this. Guys, I think that's kind of an exaggeration. That said, I really need a ANSI manual. The next day, I made a little thing for making GUIs. That actually sounds kind of cool. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and paste. Let's go with Shift Enter and see something like Sensei. It works! Exclamation. Let's go with something like exclamation. What up, guys? There we go. Okay, that said, I actually don't know how to make my current message lowercase. I usually get a red underline when I try doing that. Guys, I should like fix my typos. You are passing an undeclared identifier to lower. An undeclared identifier? I see, wasn't full on, but I mean it was something. I see. Okay, people, you fixed the logic. Honestly, I don't take credit for it because like I was like said what to fix about it. But you left one giant hole in your defense like a novice samurai. Turning his back to the enemies. Listen carefully to lower the last message, but you never lowercase the current message before checking it. The code: if current message not find hello, standard string and POS fails the user type to why you get a red underline when you try this? You probably placed it after reading input before using it. That's correct. Oh, I think I see. Maybe because I didn't have like, whatchamacallit, there was nothing set to this. So like if there is a variable set to my current message, that's when I could lowercase it. If like nothing was set to this variable, there is nothing to lowercase. That's genius. Maybe once I add something inside of my message to lower current message. Okay, my current messages are lowercase. Okay, once I add a message here, I'm gonna go with something like to lower. There we go. With a parentheses of my current message. Oh, guys, this actually makes so much sense now. Basically, what I was like messing up with, there was nothing set to my current message to lowercase. That's why I was getting an error. Now that something is set to it, I just lowercase that. And then I might not even have to lowercase my current messages up here. Okay, perfect. Bro, I've been coding for 3 months. Give this guy a break, guys. That actually does make sense. I've been learning SDL. Okay, he will now fail to diagnose the problem and clear all his code and rewrite his code. Honestly, it does make sense. If I do like delete the code and rewrite it, I would exactly know what to type it because my muscle memory did like get used to typing this stuff now. That said, I did understand the concept as well. Okay, you can just use .contains method of string instead of find. Make sure C++ standard is set to latest C++23. I see. I hope he gets shit together soon. Honestly, guys, that does make sense. Okay, let's see. I blame schools were told just by heart stuff instead of understanding. Guys, I did not actually go school for like learning this. I went school like for the very basics. I was mostly homeschooled. Okay, and stop yapping using ChatGPT and scamming the viewers. Guys, I'm actually not scamming the viewers. This entire series was meant about me learning. Because like it's kind of funny. Some people they comment, they're like, whatchamacallit, this is like a tutorial stuff, and I'm like, if you guys do want to learn something through what I'm learning, be my guest, guys. But this is initially me just learning this stuff. That's I'm some water. Okay, let's see. Alright, perfect. I think I understand it, but I want to know how can I make this a bit more advanced type stuff. So the AI or the bot actually gives messages, not just the messages that I say it to give, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's get some say/ChatGPT back here. Let's say something like, I see ... I think that I understand. Wait, hold up, guys. I want to run the code and check if it actually worked and did that fix the issue. Let's get my window here. Let's say something like, hello. I did not understand. Okay, apparently it didn't fix that real quick. Give me a sec, guys. Okay, to lower current message, I lower it up. Hello, are we making a real bot today? Honestly, today is the level 2 version where like I do have message history as well. But this is just like a standard string of my previous message. I will be using a vector as well to like store constant messages in there, if that makes any sense. Okay, learning programming isn't about by-hearting, do not depend on your muscle memory. Honestly, it's not about by-hearting. I don't like, when I say by-hearting, I just mean like a few functions that I actually by-heart, for example, the to lower function or like the transform function here type stuff. That's it. And also like how these, the lambda and all that stuff works. But I do not move until I don't understand like why everything is here, because it's almost going to be impossible to like memorize a whole code and type it out if it's like really long. That's go back to CSS and HTML, not C++. Honestly, I haven't like started those yet. Okay, he'll be up till 2050, guys. I think it's going to increase my communication skills. Okay, let's see. So else, okay, where could I be messing up here? Let me think really hard. Okay, to lower current message dot find hello if my current message is hello. Or what if I go with something like to lower current message to, okay, dot find. Oh, that does work. Let's go ahead and delete this here. So if the lowercase current message is fine, I'm gonna go ahead and copy this part. Okay, let's go ahead and paste that here. Okay, and let's go ahead and paste that here as well. There we go. Let's add a pair of parentheses here and then current message dot find. Okay, perfect, guys. I'm pretty sure this should work now. If audit control is to save the code and run the command and see what happens. Okay, he will only stop yapping if he gets lung cancer or vocal cord cancer or something. Guys, did not pray for that. I actually like talking. Honestly, I don't feel like I actually like talking, but I feel like it is pretty fun. Hello. What up, guys? Let me try typing it correctly. Greetings. Now it works. Let's say something like, how are you? I do not understand. Hello? Was stored. I want to store my lowercase, so I'm going to go with something like to lower. There we go. Let's go ahead and paste this here. Let's copy that. Let's paste this all the way here. Okay, now for the controllers to save the code, I get my window here. If I type something like hello, I type something like how are you? I'm functioning well. Okay, this works, guys. Let's go ahead and type something like exit. Farewell. Guys, this works. Excuse me, guys. This works perfectly now. Okay, and even by 2025, you write mates or you're at the end of your education, his bot will freak out. One question still remains. Is Vivek gay? Guys, the question is answered. I'm not gay. A equals to 2 lower A. That actually does make sense. Hello, I got genius down, and I mean no disrespect, but I'm actually a medico. Is that pronounced it? Okay, so please take my view as amateur curiosity. Okay, so my doubt is, why are you doing all this? Can't AI or ChatGPT generally do everything you're doing right now? Is there a future for this? Honestly, the thing that I am learning right now, ChatGPT or AI could like easily, whatchamacallit, write this and everything, but I look in the long run type stuff, like if I keep working on this and I like keep improving, AI does lack critical thinking, so even if they are currently like in a higher level than I am for the time being, I am like a parasite, guys. I'm like trying to get all the knowledge from them that I can right now. Eventually, once I do get pretty good at this, I'm gonna be actually whatchamacallit, working on more advanced stuff that does require critical thinking that AIs lack. That said, I think that I understand now. I think that I understand now. And guys, I also know on how to lowercase that stuff and how that stuff works. I won't be forgetting that anytime soon. Okay, please, I love your stream event. Hi, I don't understand anything. Honestly, I think you're trying to make it look complicated. Guys, I feel to me it is actually complicating. That's why I make it look complicating. But if something is like easier, I make it look easier. But this is kind of easy. There's no future in coding, but there is a huge market of yappers, so he's practicing for yapping skills. Guys, if there's no future for coding, who's going to make AIs? AI is going to take over the world, guys, but there got to be some people who make them. Even though they can make themselves as well, someone should be to like monitor them type stuff. That's it. I'm going to say something like, I think I understand. Here's the fixed code, dot, dot, dot. Okay, let me say something like, say, although I did want to write a code where I don't say the AI what to reply, but they do reply with their own accord. If that makes any sense, guys. Okay, you could help with ethical coding. Honestly, I haven't like heard of it. What is it about? AI will basically train on itself, which is already doing. So that basically makes AI act stupider. That does make sense, but then I do think that there people are always actually, I won't say like always quote unquote, but then for like years to come, people are going to be required and all that stuff to like work on AIs. So when the time comes, guys, before it's too late, I do want to like be there. Okay, I know a bit of programming and I do not get what he's doing, guys, because this is like really basics. Okay, it hurts to not see using namespace STD. It is a bad practice to actually use it, because like not prefixing with standard like bigger projects can cause name conflicts, if that makes any sense. Okay, he's basically yapping and coding since the last 3 months. Haha, but this guy has good skills. That's it, I appreciate you, Nathan. Hi, Tomer, I appreciate you joining the stream. People, you did not understand what I said. You understood just enough to survive, but not enough to thrive. You lowercase inside every if statement instead of lowercasing once and start. That means your AI is wasting CPU cycles doing the same work again and again, like a fool who sweeps the same title 50 times while house is on fire. But fine, you got it working, so I'll allow it. Just one time. I mean, I could do this as well. It's exactly the same thing, honestly. Like, I could go with something like to lower current message. There we go. This would be the same exact thing, guys. Let's end that with a semicolon. I wouldn't even need the to lower here. But then for some reason, I added the to lower here. I actually forgot why. Okay, that's the point of streaming, talking to your viewers. Guys, that does make sense. Finally, someone actually understands. Okay, the AI you're referring to is company AIs like ChatGPT and Gemini, but there are lots of types, so it's not just chatbots. Oh, I see. And AI is really stupid, but a lot of people don't know that. That does make sense. Howdy, Queen. I appreciate you joining the stream. A equals to lowercase a. Okay, you want the AI to reply on its own. Good. Welcome to AI Text Logic Level 3, guys. Okay, we are moving to Level 3. I don't think I'm ready for this, though. Okay, he thinks he'll make AI chatbot with a bunch of if else if. No, honestly, I'm not like making it with a bunch of if else if. There were like levels to this. The first level was my AI replies depending on keywords. The second level was my AI replies depending on keywords as well, but also looking on the memory that it had. Like I had a vector of memories, it iterates over that and sees the conversation that we were having. Depending on that, it replies being angry, not angry type stuff. But I didn't want to move to level 3. The reason I am like pushing to level 3 is because I don't want to actually say what the AI replies. I want the AI to reply itself. Guys, I might eat some my multivitamin gummies because I think I need some vitamins in me. What up, guys? Oops, I think I just got 3 of these at once. I do prefer eating the tablets, but for some reason I bought gummies this time. Okay, let's actually go ahead and eat them up. I challenge you to stop yapping for 10 seconds. Guys, I think that was 10 seconds on me chewing the gummies. Okay, this is where your NPC stops being a puppet and starts acting like a primitive biological brain. How it works. Okay, no vitamins to fulfill his yapping needs. What is it? Honestly, it is like, whatchamacallit it? Let me just hide the country from here. It is like a multivitamin type stuff. I usually do eat this because, guys, I feel I was like being mad. I didn't have enough vitamins in me. That's it. Could you tell what brand of multivitamins are those? Honestly, it is like little critters, but I don't like actually completely like prefer this because I prefer like tablet types of, but this is one that I eat. It says that it consists of all these vitamins in it, if you guys can actually see it. It says vitamin A, eye support, vitamin B, cell support, vitamin C, immune support, vitamin D, bone and immune support, vitamin E, antioxidant support. Okay, there are like a bunch more stuff in it. That's it. How it works, you make a list. Hello, greetings, how are you? I'm functioning by Farewell. The AI checks the user inputs and picks the closest match to it. In C++, this can be done using vectors, standard string for response, okay? Or standard map, standard string, easier. I haven't learned of standard maps, but this is going to be the perfect time to actually learn it. You eat vitamins? Honestly, guys, I actually feel like I need some vitamins in me because usually my diet is like, I would say like when I actually wake up really early in the morning, I do eat oats for breakfast, but if I don't like actually feel like eating breakfast, I just don't eat breakfast in general. Maybe sometimes I do eat if you boil eggs for like breakfast or even like a banana type stuff. For lunch, I eat rice and dinner, I eat like peanut butter and bread type stuff. Because so guys, I feel like I don't get enough vitamins in me. Okay, the advertising on the blue bottle looks like for 8-year-old, to be honest, guys, okay, it is gummies. I don't like prefer gummies like what you would call it, but apparently you did get it, so I had to like eat it up. Next up, I will actually be getting tablet type stuff. Instruction based questions like you asked for. Write a code that does this. Lowercase of the user's input. Searches for a key phrase inside map string. Let me say something like, let's copy this part. Okay, let's go ahead and paste it. Go with shift enter and say something like sensei. I honestly haven't. Actually, I honestly have not learned about a map. Can you teach me what it means / does question mark? America now. Guys, I wanted to actually get whatchamacallit, tablets and stuff, gummies. Chug down 200 gallons of coffee to make your yapping more effective and heart attacks by yapping guaranteed. Guys, that does make sense. I should like stop drinking coffee. I should like drink some water. I mean, it is like a healthy mushroom coffee, so I think it has like benefits, guys, maybe. That's it. I think I should like drink more water. That's it, people. Listen carefully because if you don't get this, you cannot ever build a real NPC AI. I'll teach you standard map right now and you will learn it so well that your chat will think you ascended into a higher intellectual plane. What a standard map is. Okay, he has been coding for the last 3 months and doesn't even know what map is. Honestly, because I didn't have like a used to use it in like the SDL. Okay, I've used unordered underscore map. It's hash map if you've ever used those in Python. Honestly, I have like used maps in Python, but I haven't like ever used those like in C++. But it has been a while since I've used those in Python, like about like 100-ish days or something. God help his coding skills. Okay, brother, you really don't know maps. I've like heard about maps in Python, but not in C++. think of map as a dictionary. Wait, are they talking about dictionary like key and value? Okay, hold up guys, I think I know what maps are in that case, because in Python they were not called maps. In Python they were like called dictionaries that has like key and values in it. Like for example, let's say something like this bottle equals to, or like the bottle colon has this value, and when I iterate over I say for every key in my value type stuff. Okay, so basically map is a dictionary. Okay, hi Cyber Science, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, man, this ChatGPT copy paste coding isn't even coding, man. Guys, I don't like copy paste ChatGPT code. I just learned this stuff. Dictionary, map, hash map, same shit. I see. Honestly, that does make sense in that case, because this is apparently different names. Because in Python, when I did actually create classes, I did use map for saying what those classes does. Okay, maps are not specific to any language. It's general concept. You should stop yapping and stream and go back to the basics. Honestly, yeah, that does make sense. Okay, time for me to go sleep. Try to eat food without any preservatives for your meal. See you tomorrow. Honestly, I appreciate you, Nathan. I actually gotta do that. That's it. I told you this idea like 3 days ago. Guys, I feel like I should have listened to the idea. Each key must be unique. It behaves like a tiny database inside a program. Why you need it for NPC AI? Right now you're doing this. If, else, if, else, if. That becomes ugly as your NPC learns more phrases. Oh, so every time my NPC learns phrases, it, excuse me guys, it adds it to his map. Or actually it adds it to his dictionary. Instead, you can teach your NPC brain, hello, equals greeting, how are you, equals I'm functioning, bye, equals to farewell. Now your NPC can look up responses like dictionaries, what a map does. Here's the behavior in plain English. You store key value pairs, standard map, standard string, standard string. I'm assuming that's key, that's value, and that's my dictionary's name. NPC brain greeting, NPC brain, hello, my key equals to greetings, my value. Brain my bye, my key, farewell, my value. If you check if a key exists, if NPC brain dot count hello greater than 0, this means does my map contain the key hello? You read the value standard count NPC brain hello. This is my key, so it responds with greetings as my value. I see. Okay, lol, even ChatGPT called this code ugly. Okay, that has to be some disrespect from anyone. Guys, that does make sense. How any suggestions on how to start coding? I'm totally new with coding. Honestly, it depends. Like, whichever language you do code, I would prefer like going with Python if you prefer like AI/machine learning. But before like moving on to any big projects, I would like recommend learning the basics, like how while loops works, like how generally like how collections works, loops works, how variables works, typecasting works, displaying stuff on your output and all that stuff works. All the basics in general, you should like actually work on that a lot. That's it guys. I feel like my headphones is making my nose a bit congested. I might have to blow it soon. Okay, next stream, do nothing other than eating 200 Big Macs and 1,000 fries while gooning to ChatGPT to get cholesterol in his brain and NSVR to heart attacks a day. Guys, I actually don't eat fast food from outside. Try Python as your first language. That does make sense. Guys, give me a sec. I do want to like blow my nose real quick. I feel it's kind of congested. Let me actually go to my actually let me mute myself real quick, then be right back guys. Give me a sec. Already mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my gameplay screen. There we go. Alright guys, perfect. I just had to like blow my nose real quick. Okay, now I can finally breathe properly. He's still a beginner. Take it easy on him, guys. That does actually make sense. Okay, thanks for suggestion. Honestly, no problem. Nexton, is that pronounce your name? Okay, thank God. Okay, Vivek is... I suggest you run away when you see a guy named Vivek coding and yapping. That way you learn code faster. Guys, that's actually kind of crazy. Okay, that's it now. You check if key exists by doing that. You read the value standard count NPC brain. Hello, Prince. Greeting. Why map is perfect for your AI? Because your NPC vocabulary grows 10 phrases, 50 phrases, 20, 200 phrases. You don't want 200 if else if chains. It's fast, it's clean, it's expandable, make you look like okay, your stream. Now pay attention. I'm going to give you a sample reference code so you can see how. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect, guys. My PC for some reason just like it just shut down for some reason. Okay, your computer hates you. That's why bro's IPS hates him, guys. I feel like something I just like pulled the wire or something. I don't know. His internet provider got fed up of his yapping and cut the wires, guys. Cut the wires is crazy. Okay, is he the one lagging? Honestly, yeah. For some reason, my PC just shut down. Okay, that's it. Where was I actually? Alright, guys. Let's actually see. Okay, so what was I messing up here? Ending soon in his stream means starting soon. He's so incompetent, guys. I gotta actually change that part real quick. Because apparently when I have three layouts like that. One is like starting soon, one is ending soon, and one is be right back. Apparently my ending soon is the default. Too much YPS, 1,000 yaps per second. Please lower your yaps. Okay, let's see. Next up, so this is the tiny layout. I include IO stream, I include map. So map is a whole different library. And then I go with integer main that has a standard map, standard string, which is my key, and another standard string, which is my value. My map is going to be called NPC brains. I mean, I won't say this is bad, but then what I actually wanted was like, I give like all the alphabets to my NPC, just replies accordingly. Okay, higher than his sample rate. Okay, yaps of 50,000. Okay, standard string input while true standard get line. Okay, and then input exit break. Excuse me, guys. So if npc brain dot count is input, which is greater than 0, if something is in my input, standard console output, npc brain input, which means hello is going to be represented as greeting, or is going to be answering as greeting, else I do not understand. This is the soul of map-based AI. I mean, if you want, we can move on to level 3 fully, and then eventually level 4 weighted responses where AI picks different replies each time, like an actual personality. I want to do that. Okay, people, please motivate him. 3 months means he's getting used to programming. That does make sense, guys. Although I feel like I don't like work on motivation, but that's actually kind of the same thing. Okay, take a look at behavior trees too. Okay, let me say something like, I see ... I was wanting. Actually, I was expecting where the AI just replies, but can AI actually reply on its own like chatbots, or do people actually say them what to reply? Like, how do you reply to me? Say question mark. Is there a map that has all the phrases you say, or do you create them? Okay, let's see. Motivating him for coding would mean the end is near for programmers. ChatGPT is effective to make you feel like you're learning 200 times faster when you're learning 200 times slower. That actually does make sense. Standard string dot finds is output and the map. Okay, the harsh map could look up in 01. I see. Okay, but if you're 400 times slower at learning, does ChatGPT help you with that case? Okay, let's see. Yes, finally, I are upgrading now. That's progress. That does make sense. Okay, you are. People, just ask the real question that separates toy NPC from a true AI. Listen closely, because this is the line most beginners never cross. How an AI replies versus how your NPC replies. Your NPC right now rule-based. You tell it, when the player says this, reply with this. if that's what, okay, that's what if statements or static map do. This is called rule-based AI. I don't want to go with rule-based AI. I want the AI to have a mind of its own, not something that I say it to. Okay, it doesn't think, it follows the rules you wrote. Real chatbots like me, generative AI, I don't have a list like hello, greetings, how are you? I'm fine. There we go, guys. I shouldn't have said for like an NPC AI. I should have said like chat GPT type generative AI. I don't follow pre-written faces. Instead, I use huge neural network machine learning model. Here's what I actually do. I read your message, I analyze patterns, meaning tone, context, I predict the next word, then the next word, until a full answer forms. This might be complex but very fun, guys. I'm creating the reply on the spot, not picking from a list. That's why I can talk for hours without repeating myself. That's why I can understand broken sentences. That's why I can understand your chaos typing when you're starving on stream. Guys, I make a lot of typos. Okay, it only answers. Yeah, ChatGPT helps most of the time, but it doesn't teach. That does make sense. I just need like reference codes to actually practice it and understand how it works. Even ChatGPT suggested him to quit coding. Guys, when did that happen? Okay, can you make an NPC that replies on its own? Yes, but not with map, not with if statements, not even with switch. You need machine learning or LLM API calls. Might have to learn this, guys. There are three ways. Method 1, use an API, beginner friendly, most realistic. Your game sends the player message to an AI model like OpenAI, Claude, or Llama. Is that how you pronounce it? The AI returns a reply. This is how most games with real AI NPC company chatbot works. Your C++ code sends message, gets AI generated text, prints it. This is how you get a real conversational unpredictability. Number 2, train your own tiny model advanced. You teach a small neutral network how to talk. Unpopular opinion, assembly plus C is greater than C++. I was thinking to go on with assembly, but I felt like assembly is to like create like operating systems like BIOS in our when we create our PC. But I was like, I don't want to like create operating systems. It said we could make games with assembly, but it's not recommended because that is just for like really advanced. I wanted to learn that, but I thought like, is it going to be worth it? Hello, sir. Please reply your age. Honestly, I am 17. That's it. I'm going to be turning 18 really soon. My birthday is January 5th. Kind of excited for that, honestly. He's 8 years old, guys. 8 years is kind of crazy. Like I said, use Gemini API. Honestly, guys, that does make sense, but I didn't know the meaning of API back then. Finally, machine learning, but that's far from your league, brother. I mean, maybe I'll keep like learning it till I don't actually understand it. Okay, use concise similarity. It'll help. Honestly, I could actually try that. Keep the good work, bro. Bro, it's just a matter of time. I'm from Nigeria, also a programmer in C. That actually sounds really cool. Okay, that said, harder requires Python. Okay, I did learn Python. Requires dataset, requires a lot of training. How do I do a lot of training? Should I? Maybe after my C++ for 100 days, I might switch back to Python for the next 150 days to make my AI. I challenge you to learn ARM64 assembly without AI, only documents. Guys, I think that would actually be kind of hard because I can learn documents if I wanted, but I'd be like, what's the point if I can actually like get my documents and like learn it through ChatGPT? But it's not like impossible for me to learn the documents. I just try using the documents for the stuff that ChatGPT makes a lot of mistakes in. If that makes any sense, guys. Okay, you're from which country? I used to say that a lot, but I did like avoid saying that these days. Okay, map for hybrid brain, the future of your game. Map for structured response, quote, storyline, direct commands, AI model for free conversation. So if the player says, give me a quest, map handles it. If the player says, bro, my day sucks, AI model handles the emotion. This is how you get real NPC depth, but you must understand this, people. Your level 2 NPC is logic based. Your level 3 NPC is context based. Your level 4 NPC is weight, random, and personality based. Your NPC 5 is AI assisted. Your NPC 6 is generative intelligence. Okay, I'm currently in level 2. I don't think I should jump to 6 right now. I think I should go with 3, 4, 5 as well. ChatGPT basically makes you feel learning really fast when it's slowing you down. Honestly, guys, I have never like experienced learning quick in that case, so I've been experiencing learning this and I've been seeing progress, so I feel like might as well go with it. To answer you directly, do I have maps with phrases? No, I don't use maps, I don't store responses, I generate them patterns, reasoning, probability, and context. You're not building that yet, but you will piece by piece. If you want, tomorrow we can move on to level 3 response conditions. We can talk about how to connect your game to an actual AI model using APIs. Okay, tomorrow we go to level 3. Today, I guess we go to level 2. Your program is at level 0, guys. That does make sense. You're doing great, brother, but just try something hard always. That does make sense. I do always want to go with harder stuff. Ask ChatGPT about behavior trees. Actually, I might ask that real quick, but guys, I want to use the restroom really bad. I'm gonna like be right back real quick and use your restroom real quick. Give me a sec, guys. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Back, guys. I think all the water and coffee that I've been drinking is trying to pay off. Okay, he will learn map by next year. Nice animation. Nice animation. Honestly, I appreciate you. Long story. Okay, I meant Sin, bro. Okay, let's see. So, let me say something like, so, what should I learn right now? Question mark. What level? Okay, and also, can I get a actually a question, based on it, question mark? Okay, let's see. Oh my god, the professional yapper is back for the A&M. I see, he's probably grasped green screen from YouTube and the text was some GIF present. Honestly, no, it is like whatchamacallit. I think it's the Katana package. If you guys like for like your webcam overlays and all that stuff. Guys, I'm not actually selling or anything. I'm just like saying in general because that's the one that I actually use for my YouTube's overlay and all that stuff. That's it. It did come with like a bunch of different overlays. For example, like timers and also like be right back, ending, and like starting soon type stuff. Okay, do the AI integration. I see. Okay. If you're saying he's smarter than you without saying he's smarter than you, if you make a game, just avoid all the generative AI shit. That does make sense, but like eventually I was thinking that a game would be really fun if it consisted of like NPCs that can actually talk to you depending on like regardless of the storyline. Like you could like have your own storyline talking with an AI, if that makes any sense. That said, alright people, listen up. Today we're taking your NPC chat AI to level 2 where the AI starts thinking a bit on its own, but first you need to understand maps in C++. This is going to be your best friend because it lets your NPC remember phrases and automatically matches them with replies. No more hard coding every single line of if statement. C++, a map is a container that stores key and value pairs. Think of it like a dictionary. That does make sense. I do have a lot of experience with dictionaries, so I think this wouldn't be that hard. So in a main function, I create a standard map that consists of key and value. It's called NPC replies. I go ahead and say my NPC reply at index of my hello, which is technically my key. I reply with my value of hello. I do that for a bunch more things. Access reply to access my reply. I create a standard string of user input. I initially did set it to be hello here, but then I'm going to be setting this to be like the console output of the console input of what my user types there. If npc reply dot find user input is not equal to npc replies dot end, why did I not go with the standard string of of npos here? I might actually copy this to ask that. Let's copy that standard console output of reply. Okay, the basic stuff here. Let's go ahead and paste. Let's go with shift enter and say something like, let's say, Why did I not use standard string of NPOS here? Question mark. Okay, let's see. I think he's only top number 1 yapper in the world, guys, honestly. Okay, I wonder what he eats in breakfast so that he can yap for so long. Usually, I don't eat breakfast, but sometimes when I do eat breakfast, it's either a banana, either like eggs, or either oats. Okay, I think he eats sodium bromide. Guys, I've honestly never even heard of that because I'm really bad with chemistry. Listen carefully, people. You don't use standard string and POS with maps because standard string and POS is specific to strings, not maps. It's used when you're searching inside strings with the dot find standard string text hello hello world text da, da, da. That find is finding a substring inside a string and it doesn't exist. It returns NPOS. But with map is checking for a key in the container. It returns an iterator. If the key exists, iterator points to it. If the key doesn't exist, iterator equals to map.end. I see. So instead of comparing the NPOS, you compare with map.end to see if the key exists. Remember, NPOS is string only. Maps use .end. Don't mix them up or your AI brain will melt. I think we try that now. What happens if you're playing the game and you run out of API usage? Honestly, I haven't thought of that because I actually haven't heard much or learned about the API usage. Is there a certain amount of messages that certain amount of messages. So whatchamacallit, there's a certain limit of messages that we can type in ChatGPT too. Maybe that's the time we can't use our AI partner in our game, guys. I don't know. Take a lot of bananas to yap longer. I mean, bananas do have potassium in it. Actually, I think it has potassium in it. That said, let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces. Let's go with something like include a pair of ankle braces. Let's say I want to include IO stream. And then let's go ahead and include map as well because I will be using map/dictionaries. There we go. And then next up, let's go ahead and include algorithms as well because I do want to lowercase everything that I type. So I'm gonna go with something like include a pair of ankle braces algorithm. Okay, perfect. Next up, let's go ahead and create a function to actually lowercase my text. He's cleared his code for the 5th time. Now, guys, I do this a lot when I actually program. I delete the code and write it again for practice type stuff. Okay, yeah, you get rate limited. Oh, I see. I thought it is gonna be unlimited. Okay, Mr. Whatchamacallit, good day. Hiding, Omer Raider. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, long story has 2 impossible goals. Bro is attempting to train AI. Okay, let's see. Not working code since last 3 months. Guys, this is I started this yesterday. Okay, I'm also from Nigeria and I'm feeling like you're from here also. Which country are you from, by the way? I used to answer that much, but I did avoid saying that for safety reasons. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and create a main function now. My main function does require 2 parameters. The first parameter is going to be an integer of argc. The second parameter is going to be a character, which is a pointer towards an array of argv. Then I go with the pair of curly braces. I never clear out my codes unless I think it takes more time to fix than to rewrite. That would make sense. I would have actually done that as well if I did actually understand all the basics and what I'm trying to do type stuff. But for now, I'm just learning on how to write the code and everything. So I do gotta learn the function, and practice does make perfect, guys. That said, before my main function, I'm gonna go ahead and create another function. Let's create a standard string function of something like to lower. I'm gonna go with something like to lower with a pair of parentheses. My to lowers this function does require a parameter of a standard string of something like text. And then I go with a pair of curly braces. Now, inside my to lowers function, I'm going to use the standard transforms function because I do want to transform my text to be lowercase. There we go. With a pair of parentheses, I think I spelled transform wrong. Okay, perfect. Now, my standard transforms function requires 3 iterators and 1 function. The first iterator is going to be my text.begin, where my text starts from. Okay, with a pair of parentheses. And then the next iterator is going to be something like my text.end. Where does my text end? With a pair of parentheses. Lastly, the third parameter is going to be my text.begin as well. This is going to be where my text is going to be located. Lastly, I'm going to be requiring a function. My function is going to be a lambda function, which is a mini one-line function. I'm going to add a pair of square brackets, then a pair of parentheses. This is going to say something like unsigned character of C. If my unsigned character is C. There we go. Did I spell it correct? Hold up, guys. There we go. If my unsigned character is C, I'm gonna add a pair of curly braces and return something. Let's go ahead and return, let's say something like a standard to lower function. So I'm going to use the to lower function. I want to return a lowercase c, ending my function with a semicolon. There we go. And then let's end everything with a semicolon. Okay, your keyboards are used to Yapper by now. Strings should have a lower built-in function. Honestly, because like when user actually types, it's like almost unpredictable what the user might type as an input. So we do lowercase it to avoid case sensitivity. Okay, no, I'm using Python machine learning and deep learning. I wanted to go over machine learning. Maybe after my C++ for like 100 in series, I might go over Python machine learning type stuff, because eventually I do know people do like use C++ only for speed and like Python for the brains and like SQL for the memory type stuff. I want to learn on how to do that, but I actually don't know how to like combine two codes together. Like how do you C++ is coded like my Python's project type stuff? Might have a research on that. Okay, machine learning and DL and short, I see. Okay, that's it. Now inside the main function, I'm gonna do something. I'll forget all my coding by watching this guy learn to code. Return text function. Oh, I keep forgetting this part, guys. Let's go ahead and return text. Guys, I always keep forgetting this part. That's it. Now, inside my main function, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say create two variables. The first, actually not variable. I'm gonna go ahead and create a standard map with a pair of ankle braces. Now my map is only going to be consisting of standard string. This is going to be my my key, and then a standard string of my values. So I have a key and a value in my map. This is going to be called NPC replies. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done with this, I forgot what was the next thing that I had to do. I should actually set something here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add something like if my NPC replies at index of well excuse me guys, well, looking forward to it, brother. Honestly, it does sound quite cool. Okay, sweet story. It sounded like you find it simple. Okay, it's best to use Python for AI instead of C++. That does make sense. I want to learn how to like combine those two stuff, because like Python's is brains with like C++ is speed, but I don't know how to do that. I looked through CIA docs. I see. I've been coding for 4 years, guys. 4 years is actually pretty insane. Okay, let's see. So NPC replies. Let's say if my reply is something like hello, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Okay, I'm gonna go with something like equal to, let's say something like greetings, human, maybe greetings traveler. Okay, with an exclamation, and then with, excuse me guys, with a / new line, ending with a semicolon. Maybe I might not need a / new line. Now let's add a bunch more. I'm gonna go with something like NPC replies. Maybe I just copy this to save time. Okay, let's go ahead and paste it. Sure, let's paste it like, I don't know, maybe a bunch of times. Now, I'm gonna change hello to something like, how are you? Okay, so it says something like, how are you? And then I go with something like, I'm doing, well, traveler. Okay, let's say something like, bye. Let's change this reply to something like, farewell traveler. Farewell traveler. Okay, and then I'm gonna add an exclamation here. Now for my fourth reply, I'll say something like what is your name? Or something like, what is your name? All lowercase, guys, give me a sec. What is your name? Question mark. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and change this. Let's say something like my name is I don't know, what name should I keep it? Let's say something like NPC. My name is NPC. Lastly, I'm gonna go with something like I don't know, maybe something like exit. Okay, long story, you mean 8-bit. Early signs of coughing because too much yapping, guys. That does make sense. I should like stop talking about passing text by reference and returning nothing would be easier. Passing text by reference and returning nothing. Passing text by reference. I pass text by reference. and returning nothing would be easier. Honestly, what you mean by that? Okay, that said, I don't think I might need this last reply. I can't think of anything right now. Now, let's go ahead and add something like a standard string of something like input text, which is going to be equal to actually standard string of input text variable ending with a semicolon. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do something. I'm going to use the standard getLines function with a pair of parentheses. My getLines function is going to be requiring a few parameters. Let's think what else. So I'm going to go with something like a standard console input. My input is going to be stored on my input text variable. Standard getLine, guys, I'm pretty positive standard getLine is correct. I mean it's a lower function. Oh, I see. Okay, and returning nothing would be better. So, do you think I should convert this to be like void function? But I don't know if I want to convert it to be a void function, but that would actually make sense. I mean, I could try that actually. Okay, my input text, let's go with something like a standard get line of input text. Is something wrong here? This is a standard string. What if I set this equal to a empty quotes? Okay, that wouldn't actually work as well. I used standard getLine before and it worked. Why does it not work right now? Is there a reason? Let me actually think. Standard getLine, standard console input, input text. I have too much work. I have too much of Vivek the Yapper. I'm gonna unsubscribe and go sleep. Good night. Honestly, I appreciate you sticking through stream 8-bit. I'll catch you next stream. Okay, your two lower creates two copies of the argument, where if you passed by reference, it wouldn't have to create any copies. Oh, okay, I think I see. Right now, this actually has a copy. Do you mean if I go with something like an ampersand of text? That wouldn't actually create a copy. I go by reference. Okay, and then now, if I'm inside my while loop, okay, get lines. Why can't I use my get line? Copy elision, I guess no copies. C++ code looks weird as Rust dev. I never seen something like this before. Honestly, I feel it does look kind of cool, but I do want to learn Rust as well. I guess DL is more capable than long story than machine learning. I see. Okay, but why you yap too much? Guys, I feel like I got entertain you guys too while actually trying to figure out what this means. That said, standard string of input text. Let me think hard. Is it that I am missing something here? Maybe I go with something like... No, I can't use standard console input because that is just one input. In this case, I do want this to be one input. So I'm gonna go with something like a standard get line, which, with a pair of parentheses, my standard get line consists of standard console input and input text. This should be correct. I don't know why is this not working. Why do I have it read on? Does it say namespace std has no member get line? Include string. Oh wait, did I not include string? There we go. Let's go ahead and include a pair of ankle braces. Let's include string. There we go. Okay, now it works, guys. I just forgot to include string. Okay, that's what he yaps. Okay, hold up, guys. Let me hydrate my lips real quick. It's kind of dehydrated. Okay, next up, let's see. Now, once I'm done with this, once I have an input on my actual window, what's the next thing that I might do? Let's think. Okay, yeah, DL is what's used to train every AI card, ChatGPT, and lots of advanced things, I see. Okay, I was scared when host wanted to integrate AI. I've been doing coding on it for the last week, just over. It's not as simple as host is doing, I see. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and end this with a semicolon. By the way, you can use PyTorch backend to make AI. I was actually gonna use PyTorch, and there were like a few more like NumPy and all that stuff as well in like Python, but I did like move on to the C++ because I thought I would need it for my game type stuff. Maybe after my C++ part 100, I might move on back to Python to actually learn the AI logic, machine learning type stuff. That said, now once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and add a if statement to check something. I'm gonna check something like if my NPC's reply at index NPC replies, there we go, at index of, let's say, something like input text. NPC replies at index of input text is not equal to my NPC replies dot the end function. NPC replies, there we go. Then I'm going to do something. If it's not equal to, not equal to is used to simple tree, one standard string. This is iterator, multiple, let's see, standard operator, not equal to. NPC reply, okay, NPC at index of input text. That's the key. I want to reply with the value. Did I mess something up here? Can you speak less? It would improve your stream. Honestly, guys, I think that does make sense. Okay, I'll grow map unnecessary. Use find. There we go, find. Guys, it's so stupid. I should have actually thought of that. I'm gonna go with something like find. If I find my input text. Guys, that's why I like you guys way too much. There we go. I'll go with something like input text. Now that works. And guys, I want to blow my nose again real quick. Okay, yeah, find not subscript. Guys, I feel like my nose is kind of congested because of the headphones. It's like way too hot. Okay. And guys, I feel like this stream is going to be kind of long, even though I do have like, an exam this Monday, like in 2 days. Yeah, you find not subscript. I see. I train Laura with images. Takes a while, but for experience, long story. I see. Okay, let's see. If NPC replies dot find input text. Oh no, is something wrong here? Okay, for creating things. Okay, now. Okay, let's see. So if NPC replies dot find input text, NPC replies dot end. I want to do something. I'm gonna go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. This is gonna say something. How many times you live? Honestly, I just go live like once every day. That said, talk less, brother, it will help. Honestly, guys, maybe I'm not gonna read the chats for a bit. So I went with NPC replies. He got, guys, I'm not reading the chat. Give me a sec. How can you talk so much, guys? I feel it's just practice. NPC replies dot find input text not equal to NPC replies dot end. If I found one of these here, then I want to do something. Standard console output of my NPC replies. Okay, at index of input text. With another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. That should be pretty much it. I'm gonna add a else if. Let's go with something like else if, a pair of parentheses. If my input text equals to, let's say something like exit. If my input text is exit, maybe I go with something like to lower. Okay, with a pair of parentheses of my input text. There we go. Ending with a semicolon. If my input text is exit, I'm gonna do something. Guys, I forgot to add this inside of my while loop. Okay, maybe I go ahead and add a comment here. Let's add a comment that says something like main loop. My main loop does consist of a few variables. The first is going to be a boolean variable of is running, which is initially going to be set to true, ending with a semicolon. Then I delete that. I need these variables, need that variable, need this variable. Now let's go with something like while a pair of parentheses. Let's say something like while is running, while my program is running, or while my is running is set to true. I'm going to go ahead and do something. I'm going to delete that, paste this here. Okay. How can bro yell so long at midnight? Why, guys? Not midnight. It's almost like 4 p.m. for me here. Bro, speak more than I do. Bro speaks more than what I do in a whole year. Guys, whole year is actually crazy. Bro, I think using pre-built models is good to some extent, but you can always try to add more on top, you understand? Honestly, it does make sense. I do actually try doing that. Okay, he has pizza with yapperoni. That's why he can yap so long. Guys, yapperoni is kind of crazy. Okay, you can make to lower return void, then return value isn't doing anything. I mean, that does make sense. Let me actually change it to wide. Okay, let's go with something like wide, and I wouldn't have to return anything here. Now, let's scroll all the way down here. Else if I'm gonna set my running boolean variable to be equal to false, ending with a semicolon. Well, maybe instead of that, I might go with something like if my NPC replies at index actually dot find with a pair of parentheses is gonna be input text. If my NPC replies dot find, okay, find exit. If I find exit, actually buy. Let's go with buy. What up, guys? I'll go with a bunch of control Z's real quick. There we go. I'm going to delete that. Let's add something like buy. Then I'm going to go ahead and do something. And my buy was not found, so I'm going to go with something like buy. Add a pair of parentheses here. Let's go with something like buy is not equal to my NPC replies. Okay, dot end with a pair of parentheses. Okay, perfect. Then I go ahead and set my is running to be false, ending with a semicolon. Okay, let's go with my while loop. And then let's go ahead and exit and hit return 0, ending with a semicolon. Okay, to make it consistent, it should be dot exit or slash exit instead of just exit. I see. Honestly, I'm just going to be setting it to this buy here. I could set it like dot exit or something like that as well. To make it consistent, I could actually try that. Not a problem because transform models the string in place. Okay, no, it's passed by values. See, it's to lower function. It's passed by values. Honestly, I could like try running the code and see what happens. So I get my window here. Actually, my console here. There we go. Now let's type something like hello. Greetings, traveler. Hold up, guys. That's okay. That was just spamming now. Okay, then after I find something, I want to clear it as well. I'm gonna go ahead and set my input text dot declare function with a pair of parentheses, ending with a semicolon. Okay, got it. It would work. What is this? Honestly, I'm trying to actually make a tiny AI logic and text-based system. This is kind of the basic, because this is like the level 2 out of the 6 level type stuff, where I type something like hello, and it replies by saying greetings, traveler type stuff. Alright guys, why just one code input text dot clear? Isn't this a while loop until my while loop is running? Why does it end almost instantly? Maybe instead of going with this, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this and check if my input text equals to buy. Then I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say farewell traveler and end it. Now if I were to run the code, let's see what happens. I get my first window here. Hello. Let's go with something like hello. Greetings traveler. Bye. Can I type anything else after hello? Okay, why can't I type anything else? Do I not get... Oh, I see. Hold up, guys. Let's get this inside of my while loop. That should fix everything here. Let's go ahead and paste this here. Okay, now for it, Control S to save the code and run the command and see what happens. Input should loop. Actually, that does make sense. I guess I'm wondering if a model trained with new data, if in isolation could be a tool for a company knowledge based on just vector storage and phrasing and parsing of info for that long story. I see. Okay, that's it. Let's type something like hello. Greetings. Let's say something like bye. Farewell, traveler. It doesn't say anything to like gibberish. Let's say something like how are you? It doesn't say anything for how are you as well. What if I say something like how are you? I'm doing well, traveler. So it goes quote unquote though. I mean, if I say bye, then I want it to end. Maybe, let's go ahead and copy this part. Now I'm gonna go with a bunch of Control Z's. Control Shift Z's to return 0. Now let's go ahead and paste this part here. Okay, now for it, Control S to save the code and run the command and see what happens. I get my terminal here. I'm gonna say something like bye. Whoops, something like bye, farewell traveler. I can still type. Hello? I find stuff, but this is not what I want it to be. Okay, no need to clear string. Okay, honestly, I just like every iteration. If I were to Control C to copy the code, function to lower can be made static. Function to lower can be made static. It's a void functions. Standard string text. Let's remove that. Now if I did Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, maybe I think I do gotta clear the string. Somehow that... Okay, if I clear the string, hit Control S to save the code and run the command. Okay, that doesn't work either. I'm glad it does not work. Okay, static it says. Okay, blinking cursor, something message like you get in our inputs here. I see, so I might remove the input text.clear. It's gotta be static. To lower input text if npc.find input text is not equal to npc.end npc replies.find by. I respond to the by and set my is running to be false. Maybe I add an if statement to this or like something like an else if statement to this. Okay, this does make sense. You need to pass by reference or else to lower has no effect on the argument. Okay, I do have it passed by reference here. Okay, now for it, Control S to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. To lower function can be made static. Pass by reference. Okay, let me try the debug here. How does the debug work? Start debugging. Guys, is this what debugging means? Okay, set a breakpoint and debug. How do you set a breakpoint? Do I just click the button here? Does that add a breakpoint? I know breakpoint is that red dot or something. How do you add a breakpoint though? Okay, I don't see like any red dots here. Okay, is it somewhere here? Okay guys, I think I don't know how to add a breakpoint here. That said, let me read this part. My gets line and this thing should go in... Oh, I see. I gotta delete this part from here. There we go. Now for it, Control S to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. Function to lower can be made static. What does it mean by make static? Should I go with constant? F9. Okay, let's see. Maybe not typing anything. What up guys, let's actually click my Control F9 or Shift F9. F9 doesn't work. I could go manually here. Oh, it's F5. Wait, choose pointer. Hold up guys, I think I understand. I think I understand what the F9 meant. I see a toggle breakpoint. Oh, that's how it works. Okay, so what do I do with the breakpoints? Let's disable that. Let's hit Control S. Let's start to debug. Let's start debugging. What does a breakpoint try? Right clicking on the line number. Okay, right click on the line number. Doesn't actually work, but then the F5 did work. Let's delete breakpoint. Let's go ahead and delete breakpoint. Okay, where do I want to add a breakpoint? Okay, let's break there. Now let's start debugging. Function lowercase can be made static. How do you actually use the debugger? Like, I think that would be useful to use it. Many of you guys did recommend me using it as well. Where am I messing up? I gotta think. Standard get line. This part is correct. To lower input, I lower my input text. It's gotta be static. Maybe I try going with something like a standard string and then let's go ahead and return something. Let's return text. Ending with a semicolon. Now for it, Control S to save the code and run the command. Okay, fatal error link cannot open debug SDL project. So link cannot open. Okay, I use Python and nothing else. I see. What is the difference between what I did before versus what I did right now? It's almost the same thing, to be honest. Standard string input. I'm pretty sure the input goes outside the while loop. This goes inside the while loop. Else if. Instead, I might change this to be an else. It looks correct, honestly. Where did I mess up here? To lower input text dot find not equal to n. I see. There's a small red underline here. Let's fix this part. npc.find by not equal to npcs end space. It has a red underline here. Guys, I feel like I missed something crucial up here. Not equal to npc replies dot end. Oh, this has got to be an if statement. There we go. Now I it control us to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. Okay, one of the libraries does not support debugging. I see, else doesn't have a condition. That does make sense. Oh, one of the libraries does not support debugging. I did everything correct here. It worked a while ago. What up, guys? Save by two variables. Save by two variables. What up, guys? Maybe I go with like a bunch of control Z's up here. While it's running, let's go with control shift Z. Let's paste everything here. Okay, let's go with control S. Okay, now for it, control S to save the code and run the command. Function guys, this was the exact code that worked a while ago. Why is it not oh, guys, I had something running on my background. No wonder it didn't work. Hello. I should have seen my other window. In my other window, I have like the terminal. I don't have like my taskbar down here. I had it running in the window. No wonder it was not working. Now let's go ahead and return 0, ending with a semicolon. Guys, that's kind of awful actually. Let's hit control S to save the code and run the command. I didn't even have to hit the bunch of control Z's. Everything was working perfectly, guys. Okay, so let's go with control A, control C, copy that. Let's go some /GPT up here. Now let's go ahead and paste this. Let's go with shift enter and say something like sensei. I did write this, but I feel like my exit is a broken question mark. Okay, do your data set loud story data? Okay, that's it. Ah, yes, I see the mistake, people. Look closer. Exit check does nothing. You aren't actually stopping the loop. Your empty block means the program will just keep running forever. You need to set is running false to break. Didn't I do this before? Is running is going to be equal to false, ending with a semicolon. Now body control has to save the code and run the command. Guys, I'm pretty sure it was set to false before, but it didn't work as well. Bye. Farewell, traveler. There is a lot. I gotta add my clear here. I'm gonna go with something like input text dot declare function with a prof parentheses, ending with a semicolon. Now body control has to save the code again and run the command. I get my window here. Let's type something like bye, farewell, warrior. Let's say something like hello. It just works once. Why is that so? Probably because I gotta get these inside of my loop. There we go. And now if I were to control S to save the code and run the command again, I get my terminal here. Let's type something like bye, farewell, warrior, hello. Greetings, traveler, exit. Okay, exit does end my program, but if I hit bye, that's when I want to exit my program. If I hit control S to save the code again and run the command, I get my first window here. Let's say something like bye, farewell, I mean, I want to go ahead and change that a little. I'm going to be doing something. If it is set to bye, instead of going with input text, I'm going to go with something like if my NPC replies at npc replies dot find. If I find something like bye in my replies, then I'm going to do something that is going to be I'm going to display the value of my bye, which is going to be my npc, excuse me guys, replies dot end. There we go, with a pair of parentheses. Okay, and then I'm going to add another pair of parentheses here. There we go. Okay, if it is bye, then I'm going to display its a value and then set my is running to be false. Now I've added control S to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. I get my first window here. I'm going to say bye, farewell, traveler, bye, farewell, traveler, hello. Hello. Greetings, traveler. Okay. Let's add something like and. So I'm going to go here and say something like and. My input text equals to bye as well. I'm gonna set my is running to be false. Now for it controller has to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. So I get something here. Let's say something like bye, farewell. Why does bye not end my program? You need to remove else part. Okay, let's go with something like if. Okay, in that case, I might not need my second condition here. Let's go ahead and remove that. If our controller has to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Let's get my first window here. I'm gonna type something like bye, farewell traveler. There we go. Oh, okay. Else if checks if some. Okay, I think I see. That logic inside else if must be of if. Then you check the input. That does actually make sense. Just replace else with if. Input text equals to bye. Okay, it actually does work. It actually does work. That said, now let's go with let's run it again. I'm gonna say something like, what's your name? Let's go with something like, what's your name? What is your name? Question mark. Okay. What is your name ends my program as well for some reason. What is your name? Then instead I could just go ahead and delete this part and see something like if my input text equals to bye. That is the only thing that exists my is running. Instead, I'm going to be hitting controls to save the code and run the command again. I want to see if that bye part works. Let's get my terminal here. Let's type bye. Farewell traveler, it does not set my... Okay, probably because I clear my input text as well. How are you? I want to check if the how are you works. Okay, let's go with something like how are you? That does not work. How are you? That works. I want to check if my text at least consists of how are you. This is way too detailed. How doing, Alloy? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, guys, I do not want it to be like this though, because this part is like way too detailed. Control Shift. There we go. Because I want to check if at least how are you exists. Not like every word to word. I don't want to like write stuff quote unquote. I'm gonna go with Control C, copy that, get some say / chat GPT here. Let's go ahead and paste this, go with Shift Enter and say something like, let's say, I feel like, I mean, it does work, but I don't want the user to type stuff quote unquote. Okay, instead, I want to, let's say something like, I want to see if in my text that part at least exists. For example, for my how are you, I don't want the user to always type how are you. Instead, he could type how are you question mark as well. Okay, if that made any sense. There we go. What up, guys? Let's go with something like made any sense. Guys, I want to work on my typos as well. Used rejects. Honestly, I haven't like heard of that. What's it about? That said, oh, finally, I see where you're struggling, people. You're almost there, but you're thinking too literally. Right now, you're using npc.replies.find input text not equal to npc replies.end. That only matches the exact string. So how are you does not match how are you in your map. What you want is check if the user input contains keywords somewhere inside it. Standard string find. There we go. Instead of find on the map, you can loop over all keys and use the standard string find to see if the key exists anywhere in the input like this. Boolean match false for every constant. Auto pair. I haven't learned about the auto yet. For every auto pair in my NPC replies, if input text dot find pair dot first is not equal to standard string and POS, standard console output pair dot second, standard inline, match true, break. If not match, standard console output. I do not understand if input dot text dot find is by, which is found, okay, is running is set to false. See that now? How are you? And hey, how are you doing will still trigger NPC reply because hey, how are you doing? Because you're searching inside the string required an exact match, not requiring an exact match. I see. Rejects would be easier. Ask ChatGPT how senior engineers would do it. That actually does make sense. I might actually look into that like after the stream. That said, I feel like I might actually end the stream right now because I am kind of exhausted and I do got an exam this Monday, so I don't want to like fatigue my brain and all that stuff. Because guys, I feel like I just got to do some review type stuff. That said, I might actually work on this part tomorrow. Let me say something like, let's say, I think I see ... but I didn't understand fully. Although I might actually end the stream right now because I do have an exam this Monday, so gotta prepare for that. And okay, and also I don't want to fatigue my brains because I do need to study for my exam. That said, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers before I end the stream question mark? Okay, let's see. I hope you did great in an exam. Honestly, I appreciate you all over. That actually means the world to me, guys. Try started CMP. I might actually look into that off stream, like if I have time. If I have time besides me learning from my college stuff. Listen up, Chad. Your pupil is heading off to become a legend in the making. Remember, every second you spend practicing or studying is a break in the fortress of your future success. Don't let excuses seek in. Discipline beats talent when talent sleeps. So before you wander off, remember this: the difference between a master and a novice is that a master has failed more times than a novice has ever tried. I don't think this was the original quote from Sensei, guys. Okay, rest, study hard, and come back hungry. Your NPC AI dreams are waiting, but so is your exam glory. You've got this, and I expect results next stream. Now go charge your brain and dominate the exam. Good luck on your exam. And is it coding exam? Honestly, no. I'm like a freshman in college, so this is like my first semester, and I do want to move on with a 4.0 GPA, guys. I need like one more point to like actually get an A in the exam. That's it. I do want to like push for that one extra point. That said, maybe next semester I might take programming fundamentals course. I feel it's going to be really easy to take the basics of programming course, guys. Okay, I guess you learned from the ground up Python, and that's always been your core language of choice. Long story. Okay, that's it. Let's go to my main camera. Alright guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. I did want to stream for longer, but I don't want to like completely fatigue my brain out. That's it. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like, it helps with my algorithm. Sharing makes you smile, and subscribing is like a cherry on top. And guys, I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on TikTok and Instagram as well if I did meet the followers requirements. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description, and also join the Discord server. The link will be in the description as well. I usually talk to you guys in my Discord server and also give you guys the roadmap if you guys do want it. That's it. Yeah, okay, yeah, it depends on it a lot because I invest a lot of time. That actually sounds pretty cool. Good luck, everyone. Good luck to you too, long story. That's it. I'll catch you guys on the next live stream or video. Peace.